Welcome, everybody. This is episode 6 of the Arm Wrestling Buzz. We got the regulars on here tonight. We got Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News, Josh from Grip and Rip, and Tom, the arm wrestler, in the house. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Guys.
Glad to be here.
I'm a match Pradeep.
Damn. We got some bald men on the call here.
Damn, sure do, son.
Damn. Paul, you're on-
Gennady, great time to hear the buzz loads going on. Paul, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Paul.
Okay, here we go. Can you guys hear me now?
Yup.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Everything was repeating there for a minute. So, yeah, I want to talk about here we go, guys. So, this weekend, past weekend, we had some great matches. My audio is going nuts right now. It's repeating.
It's fine over here.
You hear me now, guys? You can hear me clear?
Yup.
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So, yeah, guys, let's talk about this past weekend's matches. Did you guys all get to check out the Monster Factory?
Yup. Saw some of the matches. Pavlo looked super impressive, completely dominating Artem as I expected, and then pretty much dominating Ron Bath as well. So that was a great performance by him. What do you think, Josh?
Oh, no, I mean, those are the two matches I was the most hyped for, but they were both washes. So I was like,
Yeah.
I thought Ron was going to be a little more competitive. I figured Artem was going to lose. I mean, he's 40 pounds is a lot, especially as lead as Pablo is.
Yep. Pablo is no joke. Also, that Tulier versus Tiete match was pretty one-sided as well, because he just took him out of position so much, and it was pretty dominant win from Tulier.
It was pretty funny hearing Travis go in on Artem, telling him how he should have arm wrestled against Pablo. I don't know if you've seen their podcast.
No, what
Travis
did he say?
Eating on his ass up, telling him everything he did wrong.
I mean, you just got to get stronger, really, is what it is.
Right.
The strength gap.
Travis has no filter, and he'll just lay it in you.
The technique doesn't matter if the strength gap is just so significant,
Right.
different. That's the way I see that. Mm-hmm. Also, Gromov versus Hyatt, very impressive performance from Hyatt. He's very technical, very skilled. I was impressed.
Oh, round one, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be rough. But then Hyatt made the adjustments, and it was so good.
Yeah, dude's legit.
Got a super chat in for 100. I don't even know what that is, from Ligma. Pradeep discovered the power of baldness. Thank you for that super chat. So, Pradeep, you want to give us a little what happened? You lose a bet or something?
No. Just I was having too much dandruff, and I thought, like, what's the solution? The solution is, like, shave it off. Maybe I'll get rid of 50% of it at least.
Got you. So, what was everybody's favorite match of this past weekend? I'm sorry, guys. I just was having a lot of problems with
Definitely Gromov versus Hyatt for me, most exciting to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the best one. I thought it was going to be Ron versus Pablo, but it ended up being Hyatt.
Yeah,
that match was sick. We got our special guest just entering the room right now. We got Scott Wynn in the house. If you guys don't know Scott's out of SoCal. He's been pulling for, how long you been pulling for, Scott?
I don't know, 40 years.
Jesus.
OG.
Like double my age.
Since fourth grade,
Oh, my.
pretty much.
Well, welcome, Scott. Did you get to check out the Monster Factory this past weekend?
I did. I saw some of the matches, not all of them.
What was, out of the ones you've seen, what was your favorite?
I mean, I didn't see all of them, so I'm going to say Bob Brown.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was Bob Brown versus Austin Wade. And Bob definitely surprised me on that. I know Bob is a legend in the sport. He's been pulling for forever. But, that Austin Wade, man, he's a young up-and-coming lion. Dude is a beast. And, we just got to see how Bob's experience just took over and kind of dominated that match.
Yeah, I had a feeling Bob was going to win. I was cheering for Austin just because I like the kid a lot. He got a lot of fire in him. But Bob's got too much experience. And Bob is probably, if not the best in the strap, one of the best in the straps, without a doubt. He's really mastered it to T, and he's able to manipulate the hand just enough with his re-gripping and shooting his elbow to the front of the cup, getting his arm straight up and down, and he gets that advantage. And as soon as he gets over the top of your knuckle, you're in big trouble, and he's mastered that to the T.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Yeah, I look forward to beating him in a hook and a top roll, but I'll beat him in the strap as well. All three.
Before we get into any of the other Monster Factory matches, I want to just get a background of you, Scott, because, a lot of people don't know you, but they definitely should. You've been part of this sport from the beginning. So give us a little background. How did you find arm wrestling?
Well, I found it through my brother, right? He had a junior high school that he went to with a fellow named Jack Wright, who was the weight coach. And you arm wrestled like on rainy days. Everybody lied down on their bellies and we arm wrestled in the gym back then. So that was one of the things that they did to keep us, physically fit. And Jack Wright at the time was the 1980 World Wrist Wrestling Super Heavyweight Champ, which was out in Petaluma at the time. And that's on Wild World of Sports too. You can pull that one up. Jack passed away. I don't know, it's been about 10 years, maybe roughly, that Jack Wright passed away, which was a bummer. He was in Over the Top. He's like the main referee that referees most of the matches that you see in the movie. And then, Jack was a great guy, dude, a really sweetheart of a man and really good people. But yeah, so he basically introduced it to my brother. And then I pretty much, it's like a fourth grade, was watching my brother teach Alan Fisher how to arm wrestle. And I would just soak it in. Like I just as a little kid, the knowledge and watching the body movements. And my brother would work out. He'd work his wrists pretty much like, with just a weight at the end of a dumbbell. And he would do those exercises and then just straight up to his face for back pressure. Like that's all he did besides pull-ups. And so I learned what back pressure was all about. And I learned what leverage was all about at an early age. But that's pretty much how I got into it. And then there was the NAWA, National Arm Wrestling Association, that was here in Southern California. And they were like every other weekend, if not every weekend, there was a tournament. So it was very busy. We had like 4 organizations that had tournaments all the time. So you could win 4 amateur world championships or 4 open division world championships in a year and start accumulating titles real fast that way. But it was pretty much local. Back then you didn't have people traveling all over, nor did they know like you do now through the internet. The internet changed the whole game.
Was that like the 80s or the 90s where you said there was like a couple tournaments every single month? When was that?
Yeah, the 80s.
How does the level then compare to now, would you say, as far as the athletes?
It was pretty similar. There was really good guys, You had Brzezinski, you know what I mean? John was really good back then. Todd Damasio, you had a whole bunch of guys that still could compete now, like I am. You know what I mean? There's still guys that just gave it up. They lost interest or they started a family and it wasn't affordable for them to travel because the trade-off wasn't worth the medal or trophy you got. So a lot of those guys just went a different route. I just stuck with it because it's always been a part of me and it's always keeping me driven for the most part.
Did you know John? Like, did you have a glimpse of how good John was going to be back then, or did it kind of just come out of nowhere, or was he always just kind of like that guy, even coming up through the 80s?
It's funny because John would come down to our practice in the Valley. We were the Valley Arms back then, and Lori Cole was kind of they were like going out at the time, and so he was coming down a lot to pull with us, and he was definitely stood out. You know, he's almost my age. We're both like the same age basically within 6 months, and he was heavier. He was always bigger. And I could never beat him, you know what I mean? Nor did I really ever get the opportunity to beat him. I think I pulled him a couple of times in the overalls, and he doesn't give me the time of day. Like, he will not give me a shot at trying to get in the match at all. But yeah, no, he stood out back then. You know, John's back, if you ever seen John's back, his lats start as basically at his hips. Like, literally his back start at his hips.
Low lat insertions.
Yeah, crazy, just crazy strength. And you know, I've always admired John for two reasons, because I think I pull similar to him, where John always lets guys like get in the match. You know what I mean? He doesn't flash. He can flash everybody, I think, if he really wanted to, but he usually just neutralizes them and beats them in a raw arm wrestling match. So I always liked that. And I always thought that's a real win to me. You know what I mean? You could beat somebody really quick, you know, speed kills. There's no doubt about it. There's many guys that I can't beat just because of their speed. If I stop them, it'd be a whole different ballgame, but their speed can eliminate a lot, you know? So that's kind of the difference. But I just always liked to be in a little bit of a war. And I've always liked watching John because of his, you know, his technique, and watching him and Devin pull in that one wall tournament. You know, they both that was phenomenal arm wrestling to me, you know, strategic.
What's the biggest thing that's changed in arm wrestling since the beginning when you first started and today?
That's changed?
Yeah.
Shoot. I don't know. The internet's the only thing that's really changed. The sport, as far as the sport growing, it's kind of a, you know, it's like that catch-22. It's growing, but is it growing in the right way? You know, it's definitely gotten bigger, but we have, you know, I hate to say this, but this is the truth. We have athletes that a lot of us look up to that are teaching methods to me that are completely wrong. You know, you're telling guys not to hold on. If you're holding on, you're not doing the right thing. Slipping has become like a part of the game of arm wrestling, to the point to where it's more about slipping and getting into a strap match than it is about actual real classical arm wrestling. You know what I mean? Where, like I said, you're actually getting in a war and using strategy and technique to beat your opponent, opposed to needing a handicap and having a strap applied so that you don't slip apart, which that's what arm wrestling is about, is gripping up and holding on to your opponent in arm wrestling, man. It sucks because I hate explaining that, because it's just so redundant, but that's what arm wrestling is. It's gripping up and holding on. And that's the fight, you know. The rest is all part of that. But holding on is what arm wrestling has always been about. And it's been so distorted that people watch it. And my job in the studios, I get guys, I'm like, they know me now from a lot of things. A lot of it's just from the referee thing, right? And then I'll start showing them, oh, look, the internet, it's tons of arm wrestling going on. And they watch it. And the first time they watch these guys set up, it takes forever. And they immediately let go. And they're like, I don't even want to watch this, man. I got to go back to work. You know, it's like, yeah, you don't even know how to tell them, like, that's just part of the game. But that's the sad reality, is that it's just too easy to, it shouldn't be that way. And I'm not against the strap either. Like, I like the strap. Right-handed, I'm fucking all for it. Let's strap up right now. You want the strap with me? I'll go strap. Right-handed, right? But that's still not what the game is about. You don't just get to be in the strap because you let go. You know what I mean? There's authentic slipping. That's torque. People let go because they both go the same direction as hard as they can, and they can't hold on. But when you rawly just go up there and you know you're going to let go and you're proud of letting go, hey, I'm going to slip every match and get in the strap. It's distorting the game, and it's not good for us as arm wrestlers. If we really want to have a legit sport, we have to have a clean sport. Like, to me, arm wrestling's the greatest sport on the world, on the earth. You know what I mean? Not just in America, in general. You know what I mean? There's nothing like a gentleman's arm wrestle where you can grip up and just, power to power. But it's. So
do you think, like, when you started, it was a lot more, the guys were teaching you how to hook instead of top rolling? You think the game nowadays is mostly people top rolling and letting go, compared to that wasn't a thing maybe 20, 30 years ago, would you say?
Yeah, 100%. You couldn't just let go back then, right?
So everyone would just shoot into a hook and just lock up mostly.
No. If we both went outside, we held on. If you let go, you got a foul. It's that simple. You got a foul. You restart the match, you start with a foul. If you let go again, you just lost the match, man. It's that simple.
So different rule sets as well.
If you lift your elbow up and pull out of a match, that was an instant disqualification back then. You didn't get the I'm going to lose. Let me yank out of the match. It didn't work that way. It just didn't work like that. Now it's the options are all these lift my elbow up, and I'm doing it now too. Like, I'm finally saying, screw it. I got to join because I can't change it. So now I'm lifting my elbow up to stop a match because I know my hand's being taken, You got
to adapt to the rule set no matter what the rule set is. I mean, you got no choice, really.
That's the option. Yeah, man.
I agree with you, Scott, but there is now another rule that may have been the only thing preventing this thing from increasing even more, and that's all slips go to straps. Now, because of that rule, it is going to get even worse. So what are your thoughts about this rule? All slips go to straps.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's freaking terrible, man. I like it. They're having a Jason Vale strap tournament. Boom. Let's just do that, man. If you want a strap full, then let's just have some strap tournaments. Let's have both in the same venue. You know what I mean? That's possible to do. But let's not freaking distort the game anymore and let go and have these stupid, retarded looking matches that just doesn't do anything for the sport of arm wrestling. We're still a niche, you know what I mean? We're not a sport in America. We're just not. And there's no professional arm wrestling, period. There is nobody that is making a living at arm wrestling. Now, are they making money on their YouTube channel? Yeah, that's different. They're not arm wrestling on YouTube. Yeah, their matches and their personality is YouTube. But that's how they're making their money.
Yeah, it's the social media, but it's not actually a contract. Well, unless it's a contract, maybe like WAL or something. I don't know what they were paid, but for example, the NFL, where the guys get $1 million contract for several years or something like that. There isn't really much of that going on in arm wrestling. No. And that's, Robert Drink was one of the best things that ever happened to arm wrestling. And he got ousted, you know what I mean? And it was it was one of those things. He was trying to do the right thing by contracting athletes, right? But he was trying to trap them at the same time at the wrong period in time. Arm wrestling was just starting to maybe get a little fire under it. We had a few leagues that were trying to get arm wrestling on the big screen. Wall gave away a lot of money, especially in the beginning. They gave away a ton of money, and that helped arm wrestling grow. But Wall distorted it by bringing in this new, arm wrestling table with gigantic, seats as pads, and changed the rules, and arms were breaking and tendons were tearing, and they went about it the wrong way, And then Robert Drink, on the other hand, was more classier. He brought money. He brought the glitz and glamour. What he didn't do was a few things, right? But what he could have done and what he did do was the difference between his success. He dumped a lot of money into it and didn't get any money back out of it because, let's face it, most American arm wrestlers are not loyal to arm wrestling. They're loyal to whoever is putting on the biggest event. If it's Monster Factory, if that's the big show, they're all willing to say, yeah, if you fly me out, put me up, yeah, I'll do a match, I mean, I think people will just follow the money at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't even think they're really making any money. They're really just they're getting a free trip, kind of like Turkey, right? Paul, right? Turkey basically you get your compensation for travel and stay. And do you make any money?
So they're not actually getting paid. Does it depend on the person, or they're just getting the free trip?
I don't know. That's a big question I've been wanting to hear. Like,
certain athletes are getting paid. Yeah, certain ones are getting real money, and other guys, they're getting a trip and expenses paid for. That's my knowledge. That was at the beginning. Things could have changed since then, though.
There's a few guys who make more than people make in a whole year.
Yeah, like Devin's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
LeBron, Devin, Hermes, probably.
I think Devin at this weight, especially now, he's a super heavyweight once again. But if he can compete like 5-6 times a year and multiply that by at least $20,000 per match just by arm wrestling alone, we're not counting out his sponsorships, we're not counting his YouTube revenue and stuff. Just by arm wrestling alone, he can make $100,000 a year.
Well, he's making way more than 20. I know that.
Yeah.
I heard 30 to 50,000.
But I kind of lowered down the average because he's competing for Neil Pickup as well. So that takes the average down to $20,000.
Oh man, we're gonna hear it now. You and Neil, man, you got to get this beef squashed between you guys finally.
Well, it's funny too. If you notice, it's like the crew of people that are like getting super matches and they're grouped together. Like Paul, you kind of have your little crew going. The Monster Factory kind of has their little circle going. East vs. West kind of has the same, more or less the same guys going back and forth, adding a few here and there. And a lot of them are social media influencers. You know what I mean? They all kind of have that in their background. So they're involved. Like most of these, like even like a lot of these matches that are being set up, I don't even know, like a lot of these guys ain't even national champions or even haven't been to the nationals or they haven't been to worlds, but they're getting super matches, which, I'm not knocking that, but there's guys out there that they're chasing those titles, and then they're, in a sense, it's like those titles don't mean anything because nobody acknowledges it to mean anything. Like within the rankings, they kind of overlook that.
Yeah, with the social media landscape, is just if you know about someone, then that's where they're relevant, not necessarily if they're better per se.
Yeah.
But Scott, what do you think? That's got to change for these athletes, man. That's what I keep telling people. It just can't be a good arm wrestler these days. There's a lot of good arm wrestlers out there, but you got to have a character also. You got to have something, a selling point, because you got to have something that the promoter is going to gain by having you on the card. If nobody knows you, you're just winning your trophies and all, that's not the factor that the promoter's looking for these days. You agree on that, Scott?
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to more of the, like right now, all we got guys that are going around videoing our tournaments. And then you have whatever these pay-per-view ones that are doing their camera work, which in my opinion is not cutting it still. Like they're not properly filming us. Brad Cook on one of his last videos, I was impressed with because he got me like almost like breathing hard watching these matches the way he was filming them. Kind of like how Polarville always like they filmed their matches. They were able to capture the moment. They got the face. They knew like just by watching, you knew how much this guy was straining, the breathing, all of that has to be captured. And they're not doing that. It's just lame.
Yeah, that's what comes with different angles and different like camera. If it's just one camera and then like the table in front and they're not switching angles and stuff like that, then it can be boring. I think the WAL did a good job with the camera work as far as like capturing the intensity.
They got better and better. Yeah, they slowly got better and better. Like they sucked in the beginning. They were like way in the background. Then they started to approach the table. Then they finally got on the table. Now you got guys like the Utah, I forget the name, but it's like Utah. All these guys, Nick, all these guys, Arm Tube, they're doing way better. And now that they're miking the table or trying to get the audio on the table, it's so much better. Like, and they're still editing it, to me, a little bit too much. Like, people still want to see some of the drama that goes on. Like, they won't show some of the slips that occur before they get strapped up, which that's a big part of the match. You and I have a long tug of war and we slip. Now we go into the strap, and they don't even show that, but they just show the strap match. And it's like, you don't really know what really happened at that tournament. You know what I mean? What you really went through to win.
He's trying to keep the retention up. People have short attention spans nowadays, younger generation.
Yeah. But again, editing's everything with everything, period. Yeah. When it comes to film, it's all about editing. Again, and that's why Game of Arms was so successful. They were able to capture filming so eloquently, everything. The videography was so on point. And those people, that was the deadliest catch. That's the same people that filmed that. You can see, Travis running in the snow, all of that, man. I still have people say that's like their favorite show. And I'm like, that's not arm wrestling, That's not how it really is, but it was very cool to watch, A lot of people
that Game of Arm thing. That's what got me interested into arm wrestling about 7 or 8 years ago. From now, and it was not even that. Like, I could not watch it on TV sitting here in India at that time. But it was a highlights video edited by, I think it was Philip Ritz. Philip Ritz edited that highlight video, and I watched it like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and then I got that video. Yeah. Travis Bagent highlights, for 3 minutes, something like that. And I'm glad Scott mentioned Polar Will. I very rarely hear anyone talk about that.
That's a great channel.
Like, there were very few things in arm wrestling that were kind of ahead of its time. You just watch Polar Will's edit of Jeff Hale versus Alan Fisher and Michael Todd versus Richard Lupkis, both matches in that same video. Yeah. They were like kind of way ahead of their time, at least on the YouTube space. And I mentioned the other guy, Jeff Hale, the way he was creating characters in those arm wars videos and matches. That guy, his social media personality, I would say he was ahead of his time. If that character existed in today's world, he'll be like super famous. Every match will have like 1 million views.
Yeah, Jeff is amazing. We did a seminar with him last year, and he gives one of the best seminars I've ever seen. He really stands out, really knows his stuff. Very smart guy, could really articulate everything. Definitely would love to get Jeff Hale back and active again. Arm wrestling definitely needs him.
He's great. He's great for arm wrestling. He really is. That's a real per se character. As goofy as he is, like, people love that. You know what I mean? I love it. It's like to watch him get in his psyche, and that's all part of it. So it's pretty cool. Like, that's a real character right there.
Scott, I want to talk about your big matches coming up. I heard that you got a big one coming up. I think it's in 2 weeks. You're going to be going, Team California is going to be going against Team Florida, and you got your hands full that day. Who are you pulling?
This kook named Brandon Morris, I think his name is. Fruit Loop from Florida.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. You're definitely going to have your hands full that day. What could we expect?
I'm sure he's going to be a handful. There's no doubt about it. There's some good shit going around in Florida these days. So I'm expecting him to come in super strong, but I'm just going to do what I always do. And I think I can manage him and take care of him. And I'm going to try to beat him in every position. There's 5 matches, and we'll see if I can't beat him in a hug, top roll, and a dead wrist press. I'm just kidding. No dead wrist press. So I just got beat like that. I don't know if you've seen that, but super disappointing. Still super disappointed in the rule itself, because I got pinned. The guy was dead wristing. This is at the Nationals, and he was dead wristing. He was trying to slip because I took his hand. He was trying to bail out of the match. I was pushing back so that he couldn't bail out on his hand. And so he kept going straight down to the table, still trying to bail. And I kept pushing back on the back of his hand. Well, as he went down, he was like almost to the top of the table, and we slipped. Sean Hancock decides from the other side of the table that he can see my pinky go below the pin pad for a parallel pin. And we went over the video. I challenged it. challenge the call itself. I didn't challenge. He said I challenged that he couldn't make the call from the opposite side of the table, which apparently he can. But that I didn't challenge that. I was challenging the pin call, which the down ref did not call. Sean called, and he, like I said, he said my pinky went below the pad, and after review, they couldn't conclude that that if I did or didn't get pinned, but they wouldn't overturn it because it was inconclusive.
Where was that against? Where was that at? Was that recent?
Yeah, it was just at the Nationals in Illinois. It was against Tony Winkle, I think you pronounce it. But yeah, he couldn't beat me. No matter what, he wouldn't be able to beat me. But he got the call, and I protested. We, like I said, reviewed it. They didn't overturn it. My point is, the rule should be the other way around. If it's inconclusive that you can't see that he was pinned, then you run the match again. If that guy can beat you, he'll beat you again. You know what I mean? And then I traveled all the way to Chicago. You know what I mean? To get a call like that was just ridiculous, man. And it was. I got really mad. I left the room. I asked for my money back for tomorrow, the next day's tournament for the Masters division. I was pissed. I was like, I'm done. And I did this once before, 1987 or 1997. I take it back. 97, I walked away from arm wrestling because of the bias refereeing. And I was like, I'm done with this shit, man. I traveled all the way to Tahoe, took off work. I was like, I'm ain't gonna spend my money on this shit anymore. Started a family and walked away for almost 10 years, you know?
Hopefully you don't walk away from this time, brother. And I want to find out what other matches do we got going on between Florida and California. I know we got Austin Wade from Florida. He's going to be pulling Jamie Sheldon. Really excited about that match. How do you think that match is going to go, guys?
Which one? Wade versus
Jamie Sheldon versus Austin Wade from Florida.
Never pulled Wade, but Jamie Sheldon, I think he'll win.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't I'm gonna say Austin. Jamie's kind of two-dimensional. There isn't a lot of avenues for Jamie. Austin, I think if Austin's able to turn him in and hook him, I think Austin could beat him. If Jamie gets a little bit of the hand control, and Jamie has a certain way of going outside and then compromising his wrist just a tiny bit to get a pin. He's really, really good at it. Then I think he'll get a win on Austin for sure. But it's going to be a good war. I think it's going to be some good matches.
Who do you think is going to win for the day, Florida or California?
Cali, of course. Yeah. I'm trying to see, what are all the matches?
Yeah, you got to go through. So we got Gabriel Young going against Austin Jennings from Texas. How do you guys think that match is going to go?
Probably Gabriel Young winning. I haven't pulled either of them. I'm not too sure, but Young looks pretty good. So,
Josh, what's your thoughts on that match?
I'm not too familiar with either of them to give an honest assessment.
Okay. Pradeep, do you know those two lightweights?
Yeah, I've seen both of them, but I would say I don't have enough idea. And I was about to say they should tell us first that who is going to win out of them. They should first come out somewhere and let the world know about it. Then probably people can make predictions on that match.
God, what do you think? Do you know about those two lightweights?
I don't. I know a little bit about Gabriel. I know he brings a lot of hyperness. He gets pretty up on his matches, so he's pretty intense. So I know I have a lot of energy. And who's he going against?
Austin Jennings from Texas. Austin.
So I know the name. Yeah, I know the name. So yeah, I don't know. I know this kid's really good, so that should be a good match. I couldn't call it on that one.
Yeah, I'm friends with both guys. I wish them both luck, but I think Gabrielle might be a little too much for Austin, but I'm not really positive on that one. It should be a really good war. So who else is like the headliner matches on that, Scott?
I see Mika and Wade. So Austin and Mika,
Okay.
left-handed, I believe.
Yep.
That'll be a good match, and I'll take Mika on that all day.
Yeah, I got
Just
Mika
because
too.
I know Mika. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
told-
Mika is a beast.
The long ass forearm. Keep him out of the hook.
Long.
Keep it in the hands.
Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that one?
I actually watched some on Mika that I shared on Facebook, and just off of that alone, he got really long
Oh
forearms.
Like,
Yeah. The first thing I told Mika when he came into the practice, like the first practice he'd come to, I literally told him, I said, dude, you got all the tools. You got everything you need to be a champion. You got a long arm, big hand. And he learned pretty quick. Like Mika was, I want to say within 2 years, Mika was like in the top of one of the tops in his classes. He, being a professional tennis player, he already had a lot of forearm strength and his elbow could endure. So as soon as he learned how to leverage off his elbow and use that long arm, which he's still learning, we're all still learning, but he's still got some things to develop, I believe. He'll be
Seems like tennis players transfer over to arm wrestling pretty well. Because Ryan Bowen's another ex tennis player that came in and came pretty good arm wrestler himself.
Yeah, I didn't know that he looked like he'd be a tennis player, that's for sure, but I didn't know he was a tennis player. He looks, I just saw him the other day. He looks a lot different. He looks like a lumberjack almost. His beard, and he's like, I don't know, he's like how much is he weighing right now?
I think he's like 225, 230.
Getting up there. He's definitely
From
sizing up.
From 176 pounder arm wrestling Justin Bishop. He got pretty big, man. Like I've never been over 200 pounds. And I would like to be, but I've just never tipped the scale over 200 pounds in my life.
Yeah, I'm up at 210 right now. I gotta lose some, man.
That bulk is real.
Oh
Bro,
man,
I just I went up to 200 for that last tournament for the Cobra Classic, and then I just didn't stop eating, man. I just kept going and going.
I bet your numbers in the gym are going up though when you bulk like that.
Yeah, I slowed down in the gym. I took a couple weeks off. I'm just getting back into things actually this week. I'm going to start really getting into training camp again and start getting ready for June. Plan on doing a tournament down in Florida.
Nice.
So I still haven't decided if I'm going to stay at 198 or if I'm going to try making a big drop and hitting that 176 class. I'm up in the air right now still.
Yeah, we're talking about that. If it's sure you're talking about amateur still, right?
Yeah. We're going to do a couple more amateurs, win a couple of them. And then,
yeah, I mean, you may as well just flow at the weight you're at. You know what I mean? You don't need to cut. See how you do at that weight in the amateur divisions. You're probably going to do pretty well.
You know what it is, Scott? I wanted to maybe try out that 176 just to see how I feel. So now I got, a range of, where did I lose a power or whatever. Maybe I go to that 176. I still feel powerful. Then, I'll stay around there. Right. I really don't like to eat much, man. I like to stay ripped and lean and all, and not having abs is definitely messing with me now that I'm down in Florida.
You need to work a little harder, bro, because you're not ripped at all.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, guys, I want to welcome to the room now. We got Matt Craig in the house. What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother?
Another day, another dollar. Let me get some light on here. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll let you set up your room over there. Just keep it quiet over there when we're talking.
There we go.
So, Matt, we want to talk to you because we heard that you have a very, very big super match coming up with your left arm. We know that you just did very well in the Cobra Classic and you beat Quinlan Mendez left hand. And from that, who's next?
Supposedly I have a match with Mr. Dallas Langston in Anaheim on July the 2nd.
Wow, that's a big test right there, bro. You're definitely going up the food chain with Dallas Langston. Really tough puller out of SoCal. And it's great that we have Scott in the room right now. Scott's very familiar with Dallas Langston. So, Scott, what's your thoughts on that match? Because I think you've pulled both guys, right?
Yeah. And this is right-handed or left?
This is going to be left.
Okay, yeah.
I am definitely not a righty. This is going to be left.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Matt's got some good odds, dude. I pulled with Matt, and Matt's no joke. Like, I'll give him props on that. He's definitely, I think, if I were to bet, yeah, I mean, I would be a tough one. I might lean towards Matt, left-handed. Yeah.
Oh, Dallas is a tough guy. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Dallas. I don't want to say I'm confident I'll win. I had a wise person told me the other day, they said confidence is quiet and arrogance is loud. And everyone knows I'm pretty loud. So I'm going to say I'm arrogant that I'm going to win. There we go. That works for me. I'm arrogant that I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Depends on who ref. I need a good ref. Scott, do you know a good ref in California?
Besides the one I really know good, California.
Boskin.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Boskin's a good ref.
There's a bunch of guys, yeah.
Yeah, that was a joke. I kind of figured you'd be reffing, Scott, but I don't care who refs. As long
I
as
don't
I've got
know
some
anything. I don't
experience.
know, like, where is it at? Anaheim, like, is it at the Brewheimer?
Yeah, it's going to be the Bruheim. Yeah,
Okay.
at Armfest. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Those guys, we'll see. You know what I mean? I would definitely ref it if I'm asked to ref it, but I knew nothing about reffing it or the location. I did see that you were saying you were going to pull them, but that was it.
Yep, it is going to be at the Armfest Bruheim on July the 2nd, Sunday, July the 2nd. So, yep, I'm flying in on the 1st, flying back out on the 4th.
Right on. Very cool. Paul,
Yeah,
you
should be
coming
fun.
up with that?
Can you guys hear me? I think I
Yeah,
lost.
we can still hear
Oh,
you.
there
There
we
you
go.
are.
Okay,
There you are.
perfect. Yeah, it lost me for a second.
Is Paul, you're going to be down? You're going to come down for that, right? July 2nd?
I got to see, man. I'm based right now in Florida, so I got to see if I can clear my schedule and make my way over there. But the rest of the year, I'll be over in Florida. You know, I'm going to be doing a lot of pulling in the Florida Arm Wrestling League.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Matt, I wanted to hear more about this big match with Dallas. How did this all come about, and what's your whole plans with that?
Well, I wasn't sure who I was going to be pulling next. I mean, Dallas was obviously right on the list. And I got a very wonderful gentleman, Mr. Rob Karstandik, said he wanted me to pull Dallas. And so he decided he wanted to help me get to California and so I could pull Dallas. He wanted to see that match. And I think that's a match that quite a few people wanted to see. You know, I mean, Dallas and I left-handed. Dallas is very sticky left-handed. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's a next logical step. That's a logical match to make. And like I said, he wanted to see it. And so he decided he was going to help me get to California to pull Dallas. And this was a good date to make it happen.
Have you pulled him before?
I have not.
Okay.
I think we got on the side table maybe in 2017 in Arizona, but I don't think we've ever actually pulled, and I don't remember much about it, how it was. So, I mean, that was a while ago. But
How do you feel in the strap, Matt? You pretty confident?
Well, I feel good. I feel good in the strap, and I'm just going to say now we're going to the strap. I know Dallas wants to go to the strap, so we can just go straight to the strap. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, if not, he's going to slip and go to the strap anyway. And I don't mind being in the strap. Let's just go to the strap. I know he wants to. Let's do the strap. Dallas, if you're watching, it's yours, bud. Let's go straight to the strap.
You're going right into his game plan, brother. That's Dallas's move right there. He's an expert in the strap.
It is what it is. I mean, we're going there anyway. He's an expert at slipping into the strap too. So he's going to slip into the strap. I'm not going to be able to stop it. Let's just go there. Let's save time. Not make it boring. Let's just go straight to the strap.
What's the weight cap going to be for this match?
210 pounds.
Okay, so
which is a good weight for me. I feel pretty strong at 210.
You're both coming down because I believe Dallas walks around like 220, right?
That's probably about where I'm at right now. I'm in a little under 220. I've lost a little weight since I pulled Quinlan.
Yeah, you were looking fat that weekend, bro. You look like you were
I was chunky, yeah. I was a little too big.
Yeah, definitely was strong as hell, though, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I felt strong. I definitely felt strong, but I was a little bit too big. I like to be able to breathe when I tie my shoes.
So what's the end game here, bro? What weight class you looking to conquer here? Where's the end goal?
I have no end game, man. I want to arm wrestle. That's the extent of it. I love arm wrestling. I mean, I've talked all the, there's only so much trash talk. Everything else, I can say, oh, I'm going to dominate the 198s, which is my natural class, the 198s. But in the end, we're going to have fun in arm wrestle. I'm going to try and beat whoever I go against. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be loud. I'm going to talk trash. But in the end, it's arm wrestling. It's fun. That's the extent of it. If I make it to number one in the 198s, beautiful. If I don't, you know what? I'm going to be 44 years old right after this Dallas match. I've got a few years left in arm wrestling. I want to enjoy it. I want to have a good time.
Do you usually compete at 198, you said?
Yeah, I'm a 198.
What's your ranking in Texas at that weight?
Number one.
Okay. Who's below you? Who are some of the guys in that weight class?
Below me is at left hand Caleb Ricks, Cody Haga. Ronnie Morales would whip my ass, but I don't think he's even ranked in the left hand right now at 198. Dustin DeWoody, Dustin pulls. That dude is tough.
Yeah,
he's going to be coming
a couple
up
weeks ago.
very soon. I mean, his right hand is dominant. His left is no joke. I was just messing around with him at the women's tournament, and he was taking my hand. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how it would have been on a ready go, but his up pressure left-handed is nasty. It's
Matt,
no joke.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we just brought up Texas, and we got Tom here right now, and there's a lot of people in the chat. They keep bringing this up, and they're asking if Tom's seen the Freddie Sanchez video to me and Tom. I think Freddie might have called out Tom, and they've been going back and forth with each other and all. So, Tom, you want to just kind of...
There's been no back and forth. I told him in the DMs, you got to find me in a tournament if you want to face me. I have no interest in having a super match. Just don't care less. So he's trying to create drama or something. That's up to him.
Are you running from him, or why don't you want to have a super match?
I'm just interested in tournaments. I don't really give a shit.
But the one thing I gotta ask Tom is, weren't you going back and forth with him? Because I think I seen you on video and you were flexing on him or something like that.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Pull up the video.
Really, Josh, what do you know about this?
I saw you on live. You flexed and said you'd crush him and bend his wrist.
Oh, did I do that? Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have done that.
Oh man,
you were definitely talking shit, Mike.
No,
I knew I wasn't
minding
crazy.
my business. People ask me a question, I'll react to it.
Freddie talks a lot of trash. Freddie is an awesome, fun guy at the tournaments, man. I mean, once you get past it, he's doing it all for fun. But
yeah, I
hey,
can tell. He seems like a good dude.
Joke. He's a very serious puller. He's a serious threat. He's tough.
Yeah, I've seen him beat Eric Wolf on the right. I think that was when I was most impressed by.
Yeah, he's nasty. I mean, he doesn't even look the part, but he's a beast.
No, he doesn't.
Cool
He
guy.
doesn't. He is really, really good. Really good.
What I like about him is how he talks shit the whole time. He's a real character, and he makes it fun and interesting, and definitely.
I watched their video, Paul, that you sent us on the Facebook group, and I liked their energy. I don't know the name of the other guy whose YouTube channel it was on, but I like their energy, like a 10-12 minute video, and they were like constantly going at
I mean, Tom, they were calling you Tom.
I didn't even watch it.
What were you saying, Josh?
What did I
They
miss?
were calling him Tom Subovich or something. They just kept going off.
Way too massive.
So Tom, can we find out what is your schedule? What do you got with tournament wise? So if Freddie wants to show up, because obviously you don't want to take the super match, but where can we tell Freddie he can find you if he wants to grip up with you?
Undisclosed location.
Oh man, you're going toddler style with that over there. You're going.
I'm off the grid.
Oh man. All right. So how long has Freddie been pulling? Matt, we probably ask you. You might know that.
He's been around for a while, but he's been kind of in the background. He didn't really leave El Paso for a while, pulled with those guys. Once he stepped out, though, he does his thing. And like you said, he's always got that little shit-eating grin when he gets up to the table. He's always arrogant. He's always talking trash. And then as soon as you get on, I mean, he's cool as shit to hang out with. Total fun guy. But yeah, oh yeah, he loves to talk shit, loves to be at the table. He'll talk the whole time he's at the table. But yeah, he's been probably around 8 years, I'd say.
Okay.
Just didn't leave El Paso for a while.
And we just got a $5 super chat in from Greg Brown TV, and he says, "Tom, you called him out. Thank you for that super chat, Greg."
No, not true. Not true at all. Fake news.
So can you just kind of explain, like, how did this all, like, how did Freddie come across you, or how did you come across?
I don't even know. That's the thing. I think he's trying to create something, now you're talking about it. So now it's out there. But like I said, I just mind my business.
Yeah, no, I got to say, I got a phone, I got a hit up on Messenger, and he was asking if he could come on, or he could get me on with them on another channel, and he wanted to call you out and all that. And we just got another $5 super chat from Greg Brown TV, and it says, "Tom is scared." Thank you for that super chat, Greg.
Petrified, bitch.
Now, what weight are you at right now, Tom?
240 something.
And Freddie's in the same weight class. Freddie's a 242 guy. Is this correct?
He's probably 230, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure where he pulls. I know he pulled at a couple of our events in Texas. I think he might have came to Oklahoma once. I know he did.
He won Colorado State.
Okay. Yeah, no,
if there's a nice little pot for a super match, you want to poll him?
Oh, if the money's there, for sure. But like, am I gonna fucking fly somewhere and pay for a hotel to fucking go up against someone? I don't give a shit enough to do that.
So if he came,
he's not scared.
That's what I think they were saying on the video. They would drive the 12 hours. All they needed was like somebody to take them out to lunch. All right. We're getting a little progress here. All right, we're poking the bear right now, and we're getting somewhere.
I mean, we could have an arm wrestling buzz super match.
That would be a good one. Where's the good venues at in Vegas, or do you guys have any big practices coming up or anything like that?
No plans.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to find something over here.
You guys coming?
We'll see about that.
Tom, are you coming down for the this Florida against Cali tournament?
I'd like to.
Yeah, because Brian's coming down, right? He's got a super match. Brian Theory.
Oh, who's he going against?
He's going against Whitfield.
Who?
Whitfield.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's like in relation to a Whitfield that used to arm wrestle a long time ago. That was really good. I think he's his son, but I don't know who he is or where he's from. But he's going against that guy both hands.
Okay.
We got another $5 super chat from Greg Brown TV. He says, "I explain everything in the video, Paul." All right, thank you for that super chat. Where is that video we could find? Are you the one that made the video with Freddie? Is that Greg?
I think that's the channel. The channel.
Okay, I got you. So they're in the room right now. Where is Freddie right now? Freddie, if you're out there, man, hit us up, man. Let's get you in here. Let's get you on here. Let's solve this. My video just go off again?
Yours did, yeah.
Yeah. But by the time Freddie joins, I wanted to add something. Matt, about your 2020 match, I think it was against Greg Gray, right and left arm. At that time, I really liked the way you guys promoted it on Facebook, back and forth. So I really liked that style. I hope you are going to continue that game, that promotion level.
Matt, did you just hear that, bro? That is what I keep saying. Thank you, Pradeep, for saying that. I've been telling Matt that, bro. Get back to your Greg Gray days. Stop trying to be this humble guy. You are not that humble guy, bro. You are the asshole in the arm wrestling world. Be the asshole.
I'm not humble, but I have a whole different life. I mean, I did not like myself. I hated the way I was with Greg Gray. On a personal level, I did not like myself. I ran a lot of people off. And also now I have children who see what I do. Not my children. I am a middle school teacher. I have children that see what I do. I can't be that person anymore. I have to monitor everything I do online. I have to monitor what I say.
Boring.
Who I am. So I'm not going to be that person.
Falling asleep over here, Matt. We got another $4.20 super chat from USS Liberty. Never forget. Thanks, Paul and Greg, for explaining things. You're very welcome, and thank you for the super chat. But Matt, we want exciting Matt, bro. We want somebody talking shit. You were a little too nice with Quinlan, you know, until you were actually on stage, and then the asshole came out, and you had the whole crowd hating you and all that. Bro, just let it out,
And
bro.
then you cut it all out, Paul. Why didn't you put it on video? You cut it all out and said I was cocky. Paul.
Well, you know, I didn't want everybody to hate you in the arm wrestling world, bro. You know, you did get a little too crazy when you were telling Tim how to referee.
Oh my God.
Bro, you were playing referee and athlete that day, my man. You were a little too crazy with that.
Oh my God. I'll make no mistake. I'm going to Anaheim and I'm going to be whipping that ass. But I'm not going to be that guy I was against Greg Gray. I was a bad husband. I was a bad father. I was not a good person. I'm not going to be that guy. Yeah, you know, you did take that. You did take that a little too far. A couple of things that you did do with the antics with Greg Gray, I do admit that was a little too far. But that was a lot of hype, a lot of lead up. 2 years of hype and lead up to finally come out that day. That was a fun day, definitely.
Yeah,
And then I got my ass whipped, right-handed anyway. I won left-handed, but I got my ass whipped right-handed.
He sucks right-handed. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold on, hold on, guys. We got Freddie Sanchez. We got Freddie Sanchez in the room. Freddie Sanchez, arm wrestling. Tom's scared as fuck. Confirmed. Get me on the podcast. Let me talk to him nicely. Freddie, come on in.
It says he's in the chat, but there's no video or audio from him. So who's scared?
Freddie, turn your video and audio on.
Yeah, Freddie, let's get you in here, bro.
Freddie is in like for 30 minutes at least. He's
been in here with his name, not talking.
He doesn't realize he's got to push that button down in the lower left. It says audio, video, start.
His audio was connecting a few moments ago. His audio was connecting, so I think his audio is on.
There he is. The man of the hour. Welcome,
There's no
Freddie.
running now. There's no running.
You've been on silent for what?
Gentlemen,
For what? A good 30 minutes there, or what?
I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
Just
Have a good one.
peeping,
All right,
watching,
man.
just lurking. You've been
I was
lurking,
just lurking.
waiting for your opportunity.
To know how scared. I just wanted the public to know how
I think you were the one who was scared.
scared you were of me.
I think it was you.
How am I scared?
No, now you're talking.
Okay, let's start this off. Freddie, I want to hear, how did this all come about, bro? How did this whole drama, how did you guys run across each other?
All right, so how it happened was, can you guys hear me fine, by the way? I got a mic right.
Yeah, you're welcome. Telling you what button to push.
That what, Scott?
I said you're welcome for me telling you what button to push. You finally figured it out.
It only took you 30
that was
minutes.
Scott, honestly. No, I'm just playing. It's all part of the strategy right here. But anyways, I heard about Tom Stubblebine talking shit through my friend Greg Brown. Okay, so my friend Greg Brown, me and him are pretty close because I go to Arizona every now and then, you know, just to go whoop some butt real quick. And he hit me up. He said, "Hey, yo, this guy's talking shit on his live podcast. I don't know if you heard. He was saying that he would smoke you and that he's gonna destroy your ego." I go, "Really?" So that's how it started, man. I mean, I was just minding my own business, and all of a sudden, this boy Tom talking some shit, and now he can't back it up. What's up with that? Talk to me.
You've been calling me out. What are you talking about, dude? You've been the one who's trying to get the match with me, buddy. Get it straight. Let's get the facts straight here.
If you really want to if you really want the truth,
what's in it for me? Why should I face you? Just give me a reason.
Look, guys, I'm gonna tell the truth right here. Tom Stubblebine hit me up fanboying out to me on Instagram. He messaged me. He goes, "Hey, bro, I just saw you beat Eric Wolf." He goes, "How long you been pulling, brother?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" I've seen a couple of your videos. I saw that he had beat Ryan Carter left-handed in California. So that caught my eye, you know, because Ryan Carter's the man around here in Texas. So I was like, okay, this guy's pretty legit. But then I saw him losing to Eric Wolf, to Carl Gerke, guys that I beat. So it was cool, you know. I was like, all right, we're about the same level. You know, I saw he has the podcast with Paul Italia. I mean, the dude's big time. I mean, he's real busy on YouTube, always posting content, you know. My respects to his hustle and his grind, you know. I look up to all you guys here. Pradeep, Paul, Grip and Rip, man, you guys are all amazing. You know, you guys are killing it in the game. Keep doing that. And I mean, I just want to be a part of all this, man, because you know what I'm saying? I let my arm wrestling do the talking. and a little bit of my mouth too. You know,
That's for damn sure. Come on now.
Freddie, I want to find out how long you've been pulling for, brother. I know you've been in the game for a while.
Okay, so I started arm wrestling in 2013 was my first ever tournament. I was 18 years old. But really, I've been arm wrestling my whole life because my dad was an arm wrestler in the 80s. And I mean, ever since I remember, I've been arm wrestling my dad, you know, growing up, ever since I was 4, 5, 6 years old. At least once a week, I'd be, all right, Dad, I'm ready to beat you. I'm ready. And we'd be arm wrestling. And one time my cousin told me, hey, your dad let you win. And I'm all, what? And so I was arm wrestling him. I was arm wrestling everybody at school. I literally wouldn't lose. Like, I'm not bullshitting. Like, I wouldn't lose at school. I would beat all the teachers, even like in high school, even in middle school, the gym coaches, all of that. So I've just always loved arm wrestling. It's always been a passion of mine. I've always been pretty decent at it. And once I found it in 2013 with Mark Bettis here in El Paso, Texas, with West Texas Arm Sports Club, it was just, you know, the rest is history, man.
Very cool. We got a $5 super chat in from the Metal 365. Pradeep shaved his head. Are we seeing a super Pradeep like the famous and feared shaved super Devin? Thank you for the super chat, brother. Pradeep, you're on mute right now, brother.
Yeah, maybe we will. I'll arm wrestle for a couple of years and then I'll ask Freddie. So he'll secretly ask Tom what his pancake stack is, and then I'll get on those pancakes and get strong.
Wait, my pancake stack? You should have
no. You will ask Tom's pancake stack, and then you let me know about that.
Yeah, that fool has a serious pancake stack.
Dripping with honey, maple syrup, put strawberries, little powdered sugar, banana on the side, chocolate milk, protein shake. Got the whole meal, bro. It's more than just the pancakes.
Damn, all that
D-ball like your Skittles.
Yeah, eat big to get big.
Mr. Fake Natty over here.
I'm
yeah,
natural.
Freddie, what's up with the
fake?
What's up with the fake natty and all that? Where did that come from?
I mean, I don't know. Where did it come from, Tom? I guess people just started seeing how insane your physique looks, and people were like,
appreciate it.
Has to be on the sauce. And that's how it all started. People just started talking shit to him, saying that he was on roids because he looks pretty freaky. I mean, like I said, my respects to the dude. He puts in hard work. And that's how it started. But he claims he's natural. He swears to God he's natural. And I don't think nobody buys it. I don't even think he buys his own shit.
I pulled with Tom. I pulled with Tom in practice. So
okay.
He was one of the first people I practiced with about 3 years ago when I started.
Yeah, and I would lean towards Tom might be natural. Like he's not.
I've been training for 8 years. I've been training since I was 16. So I mean, this is like 6 to 7 days a week in the gym. Like I started lifting weights, power building style. I've only gotten into arm wrestling about 3 years ago. So I built that base with strength in the gym. And then I still am training in the gym every single day along with arm wrestling training. So it hasn't come easy. It's a lot of hard work. And obviously genetics are a factor. You know, some people have dog shit genetics and then want to, blame it on others and, scapegoat and stuff like that. It's just how it goes. So it's the world. It's nothing.
Those guys are the best guys to beat.
Which guys?
The dudes who are roided up to the gills, like you.
Yeah,
I eat fake breakfast, bro. Easy. Like Matt Craig was saying, I don't even look the part. That's the best part because you see me up against these huge buff dudes at 240, just whooping them across the table. This little Mexican dude who just eats tacos and beer. It's fucking insane. How about you find out?
Keep dreaming.
Speaking of Mexicans, you just beat a pretty good Mexican. Miguel's no slouch, dude. He's a beast.
One of the best Mexicans. He's a multinational Mexican champion.
Yeah, Miguel's
Mexican national champion, multi-time. Miguel Ortega from Arizona, and probably top 2 in Arizona right now of active pullers because Wayne Arsenal doesn't really pull anymore. And Eric Wolf is in the Philippines, which I've already beat at a tournament. Who whoops Tom Stubblebine, which caught his attention. Got him
getting stronger, dude. I'm only getting stronger. That's the thing.
So am I. What's the difference?
You've been arm wrestling 10 years. I've been arm wrestling about 3 years. My trajectory upward at a faster rate than yours. How does that feel?
Okay, so keep running from it. Do you want to pull me in 7 years or what?
I really don't care. I really don't care.
Yeah, well, what it sounds like is that you're running from me. You
sounds
want me
like
to meet
I
at a
don't
tournament disclosed?
Yeah. If you see me at a tournament and you're in my
Everybody in the
class,
chat
then we'll
knows
pull.
you're running.
But what's that?
What? Everybody
What
knows
you
you're
saying?
running from me. It's obvious.
Okay.
When you're the one that called me out. You're the one that
you
was
called
saying
me out.
boy with me like
You called
this.
me
And
out,
I was just minding my own business, just doing my
So Freddie,
thing, beating national champions and winning tournaments.
That's okay, dude. That's
Freddie,
okay.
will you go to him in Vegas?
I mean, yeah, why not? Let's
What
go.
about
Let's go to
Cali?
Vegas real quick. That's a fun
You ever been-
time.
You ever been to Cali, Freddie?
I've never been to California. Never. I actually wanted to go to that UAL a couple of months back, the one that Carl Gerke won first place in the 231. I wanted to go to that one, but I couldn't make it. So
Anaheim. Anaheim's
Something came
coming
up.
up. You should come to Anaheim. That's going to be.
when is that?
That's their nationals. They're having a nationals. It's in Anaheim, and I think it's in August, right?
Okay. In August? That sounds fun. That sounds perfect timing. Because honestly, my arm is still pretty banged up from Miguel Ortega. That dude put a number on me. I still got some ulnar nerve pinch right here going on. I could barely fucking get feeling in my pinky. So I probably need like a couple more, maybe like 3-4 weeks to recover and then start training hard again. So I'll probably be back on the table at a high level, like around July, I would say. Maybe late June, July. But that August tournament sounds fun, man. But yeah, I mean, I like Matt Craig said, I won Colorado, so there's really nobody in Colorado that can mess with me. Nobody in New Mexico that can mess with me. I've been dominating New Mexico for years. West Texas, I have on lock. Arizona, I have on lock. I beat all their best poolers. Let's just move west and let's go to Nevada and let's get
There's this guy named John Brezink. I think he lives in Arizona. Have you heard of him?
John Brezink doesn't count, bro. That's the greatest arm wrestler of all time, and he told
So
me that
who'd
I'm
you
at
beat?
his
Who'd you
level.
beat?
He told me that I'm at his level and he wants a super match with me. Granted, he was being nice, but I mean, I captured the GOAT's attention. I captured the GOAT's attention. That's all that matters, boy.
You're risking me back like this.
What?
So
let me. It's going to be back.
Let me
My
ask you,
wrist?
Tom.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Tom.
Absolutely.
Do you
Find me
honestly?
in a tournament.
All right, hold on, guys.
What's up,
Let me ask you guys both. So, Tom, you're only 3 years in, and we know Freddie's 10 years in the game and all. Do you honestly believe in your heart that you could take him only being 3 years in the sport right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the confidence is there, that's for sure.
Then why was he using that excuse?
Which excuse?
That, you've been pulling for 10 years, bro. My trajectory is up this way, this and that.
No, no. It's just
above me.
What's that?
You're already thinking that you're above me.
He asked me if I think I could beat you. I said absolutely is what happened.
Okay, let's find out. Stop running then.
Come find me in a tournament then. How about that?
No, how about you come find me? You're the one that started talking shit.
No, I don't care. Like I said, I don't give a shit.
You
You seem very obsessed about having a match. I don't really care.
We got a $5 super chat in, guys. Hold on one second. We got the Metal 365. Paul, congrats on your last tourney. Come visit North Virginia again sometime and let's hop on the table. We might have a good match. Thank you for that super chat, brother. And what's your name? I don't know who you really are in person.
Yeah, I wanted to ask one question to Tom. Like, is it super matches that you're against that you're not interested in right now, or is it only a super match against Freddie that you're not interested in right now?
I would take a super match if there's some incentive for me as far as either money or it's someone like with a little bit more notoriety than someone like Freddie Sanchez. So that would be the situation where I'd take a match.
So why don't we talk
like
about
I
money
said,
here?
like I've
what's
said
the
before,
solution?
tournaments is really my main focus for long-term progression. I'm not really concerned about rankings in the short term or whatever.
Tom, stop acting like a diva. You're
Like a
not
diva?
there. You gotta prove yourself. You gotta prove yourself, bro.
So you're the one calling me out.
Why do you want somebody with more or whatever the word you used, more notoriety?
I'm not gonna explain. I'm not gonna explain myself.
What?
Hey,
What?
Tom,
Yeah, of
Tom's
course
got a good
not.
point.
Of course.
Scott, what were you
Tom's got a good
saying?
point. I'm just saying, Tom's got a good point. I like his logic as far as, there's got to be something on the line, or it's got to be worthwhile.
What am I gaining
Now-
from taking? He wants that match.
Right,
He
right,
wants
now-
that.
Now, Freddie
Bad.
Freddie
Now
on the
he
other
wants
hand,
even more. He wants even more now. Look at him.
Freddie, on the other hand, wants it. He's hungry. But the
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
is, Freddie, you're giving him the opportunity. Right now, I know that you're on fire. Like, if I were to pick between the two of you, I'm going to probably lean towards you if I was betting. So Tom wants to meet you in a tournament, then you need to just find a time maybe, or just bypass him. You know what I mean? He got his opportunity. So if he doesn't want to pull you, and like I said, I agree with him. If there's no money on the line, or he doesn't feel like there's a boost by beating you, which some people that matters to them or not. So it's okay. Let him go. He missed his opportunity to pull you. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's saying that I'm obsessed or whatever. Like, I'm not obsessed. I'm just responding to the call out. I'm just responding to crush my ego and fuck with my wrist. I honestly don't care if I pull him or not. Like, I'm not gonna go find him or whatever. If I plan a tournament where he happens to be, I mean, I'm sure I'll whoop him real easy. But
Perfect. Let's do it.
I don't see why we don't make why we can't make.
So we got an
cool
agreement.
super match.
Perfect.
But no, because I don't see why we can't make a cool super match where we blow this up and people want to see it already because you started talking shit and I love that shit talk. So I responded back and I'm all about the smoke. And all of a sudden you say that you don't want.
Are you willing to put up?
It's kind of boring, man. Just make
You're
it
willing
fun.
to put up?
Real
You're gonna
boring.
put up some money, $500
to get money on them.
Yeah, money
Let's
talk.
let's
Money
talk
definitely talks.
negotiation. Let's talk some money.
Okay, hold on, guys. We got a super
it
chat
at?
in
Where's
here.
it at?
Greg Brown TV, $10 super chat. Tom talking trash on his live stream. Discredits Freddie as a professional. So Freddie is responding to protect his name and his brand. I put $500 on the line for the winner. Will come to Vegas. Wow, Greg Brown TV, mega backing up his words with money. I like that, Greg. Thank you for the super chat. And we now have $500 on the line for the winner. So
And they'll go to Vegas.
And he'll come to Vegas. What do we think, Tom?
We'll see what we can work out behind the scenes.
Nice.
We'll
There
see.
you go.
Let's talk negotiations. I like it, man. Let's make it happen.
We have anybody else in the room that wants to add to this? Send in some super chats. Let us know. Maybe we can make this worthwhile for everybody here, and we could make this super match happen if you guys really want to see it.
I'll pull the winner.
There
you
goes
go.
Scott's jumping in here.
Scott, you're too
I'll
little, but you
smoke
know
you,
what?
Scott.
It would be my honor because you're a legend.
I'll crush you both. I guarantee it.
Easy work.
At the
Easy
same
work.
time.
Build it into something good.
So,
Scott,
guys,
I would slip from you. Scott, I would slip from you.
You would try. And then
I would
I'm
easily slip from you. I just
right-handed?
pissed you off.
Right-handed, I'll go straight into the strap, dude. No problem. Right-handed all day.
Scott, it's called evolution of the sport. Evolution of the sport.
That's a handicap, my friend. If you need a strap, that's a handicap.
It's a handicap if you don't need the strap.
Admit it. You need a strap to hold on. Do you?
And do
Yeah,
you
you
not need a
do.
strap?
Yeah,
Do
you
you not
do.
need a strap? It's the same thing.
If you need a strap to hold on, brother, okay, it's an accessory. It's not part
If
of our.
you need to stay outside of the strap, that
Oh, no.
sounds like
I don't
you
want-
want to
I'll turn
have
inside.
the other guy.
I have no problem hooking. I'll do either or. But hey, I'm not against the strap, bro. I'm not anti-strap. I'm anti-letting go on purpose. Okay, it's a big difference. So that's it.
Everybody lets go on purpose, though, Scott. That's just the way art wrestling is now.
hey, guys, I want to talk about the big match that we just heard that's going to be coming up, and that's Dave Chaffee going against Devin Larratt. What's all your guys' thoughts on that? And do you think that Devin has to beat Gennady first for that match to make sense, or we should see it regardless?
I think we should see it regardless.
This is for North America. This has nothing to do with Gennady at that point. And I think Dave Chaffee made a mistake doing it on King of the Table, where he has to win 4 rounds versus 3. That's just beneficial for Devin in every sense of them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But we also have to look at it that way, that Dave has won both of his matches at King of the Table and he has lost all 3 at East versus West, where there are only 5 rounds.
That's true too.
$5 super chat in from Greg Brown TV. Freddie ranked 26 in AER. This is an opportunity for Tom. Thank you again, Greg, for the
Rankings mean absolutely jack shit.
Yeah, they don't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything at all.
Scott, what's your thoughts on Devin versus Dave?
Devin versus Dave Chaffee?
Yeah, it's going down in June.
Oh, wow. You know, to me, Dave Chaffee is you know, I hate to say it, but he's not as technical as Devin, obviously. If he was, then I would go Dave all day long. Devin knows how to manipulate, like Freddie says, it's part of the game to let go and slip and get into the strap. Dave's more of a, you know, old school, the real deal arm wrestler, where he holds on and tries to use his power, and Devin's kind of like a little bit different in that way now. Even though Devin proved that against Michael Todd, that he could go in there and just brutally handle him, which was very honorable. I think Dave just lacks the ability to have just be more technical. You know what I mean? I think he can, but I just don't think he doesn't try to be like that. You know what I mean? He's more of a grip and rip. So I'm going to go with Devin still. Like, I think Dave will get a win, but I think that Devin will outlast him and manipulate him in the grips, and he'll end up being victorious. Yeah.
Freddie, what's your thoughts?
I mean, it's super impossible to beat Devin. Like, you got to be a total freak. And Dave Chaffee is a total freak, but he does lack some technique. And Devin just exploits the one weakness that you have just about every round. So I think Devin's always going to be one step ahead of Dave Chaffee. Dave Chaffee just has to be super strong. He's one of those guys that just outpowers everybody, but you can't outpower a guy like Devin unless you're like a Levon or like maybe like a Dennis Triplenkoff. I'm not sure, but I really think that now that Devin is 285 and looking ripped, like, did you see that? He posted a picture like a week ago. Dude is ripped as hell, weighing 285. We've never seen him in that type of form. If this was the Devin that pulled what's his name, Prutnik, at like 250, I would say, okay, Dave Chaffee smokes his ass. But this current Devin, the prep that he did for Gennady, Devin all day.
And you have to keep in mind he's preparing for Dennis potentially in September, October, so he's in that upward trajectory of gaining weight. So he's gonna crush Dave, in my opinion.
Devin's ridiculous.
So this weekend we got a big one, guys. We got East versus West 7 coming up, and very excited about the lineup they got. So I kind of want to get from each person what's the most famous favorite match they got listed other than Devin Larratt versus Gennady, because we all know that's the one that we're all waiting for. But other than that, what's the other favorite match that you got going on this weekend?
Rackley and Ognarbayev.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's going to be incredible.
That's huge.
That's the one.
A Rackley versus Ognarbayev, you said?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fucking war, and I think it's going to be incredible.
All right, so let's go through the room real quick. And out of that match, who do you have as the winner? Just tell us the name. So
Ognarbayev.
Okay, Tom.
Ognarbayev.
Pradeep.
I also have Ognarbayev in a close match.
Scott.
I don't know.
Freddie.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go with Ognarbayev, man. That dude is just way too technical, way too powerful.
I'm gonna go against everybody. I'm gonna go with a Rackley on that one. I think a Rackley will take it. I want to ask Tom, favorite match coming up this weekend.
One that I like is Cody Merritt versus Alijan Muratov on the left. I think that's going to be a fantastic match.
So who do you have on that one?
Guy from Kazakhstan.
Okay. Josh.
Oh, the dude from Kazakhstan, because he crushed all the super heavyweights at I think it was WAF. He won left-handed overalls, and
At
he's
like
just a little
200
dude
or
who's crushing
210
everybody.
pounds. He beat all the super heavies.
I just feel like Cody's in trouble, man.
Pradeep.
Yeah, more left-handed matches, man. That's what needs to happen. So I'm excited about both of the matches. Vitali versus Tobias is also great. Like a part of a reason why not many people are interested in super matches on the left arm. I'm talking about from fans' perspective, not from the athletes. Is that the rankings are kind of not clear on the right arm. Thanks to Engin, King of the Table, these organizations in last couple of years, we kind of know who stands where in that top 10, top 5 still not exactly clear. Anyone can place anywhere except for Levan, but yeah, it is more clear now. And with more left-handed super matches, as the rankings get more cleared up, I think the fans will start taking more interest in left-arm matches as well.
I want to mention Morozov versus Corey West is for the #1 spot in the world on the left. That's at the King of the Table.
King of the Table, yeah.
That's a good one for the left arm.
Can't wait for that one. That's going to be an amazing match. But who do you have on between Cody and Alizan, Pradeep?
Cody, it's difficult, man. Everyone is saying that Alijan Muratov is going to win, but I've read some comments. People are saying that at WAF, the guys that Alijan Muratov beat, Cody would have also beaten all of them because, Cody got disqualified. Not going to get into that in the 2021 WAF, but he also beat everyone at that tournament. And his style, like Cody is willing to give up everything. He's like the way he goes outside, like it looks like it is extremely difficult to hook that guy. He's willing to give up everything just to keep his pronation. Like somebody who arm wrestles like this, like how do you hook that guy? And I don't think Alijan is going to be able to top roll him. I'm kind of confused. Like really, this one is really close for me and not as one-sided as some people are making it sound.
So you got to pick which one, bro. I want to hear.
I don't want to go with the upset because I like you always usually favor the guy who's supposed to win. I want that guy to win. It's kind of a weird thought. So I'm also probably going to go with Alijan Muratov in this one, based off endurance.
Scott.
What, for the win or my favorite match?
For the win.
I'm gonna take Cody.
Freddie.
USA, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody as well. Also want a favorite match, Scott.
Daniel and Doug. Daniel
Prokopchuk.
Prokopchuk.
Who do we have winning that?
Daniel is a beast, dude. That kid, one of my favorite arm wrestlers for sure. Endurance off the hook. I think he outlasts Doug and he's going to come out on top. Fortunately, Doug's a beast too, but I wish him the best. I really do. But I'm going to go with Daniel.
Freddie.
Daniel, man, he's just way too insane. The way he beat Corey Miller, that shit just shocked me. Like, I know how good Corey Miller is because, I've felt him, I've pulled him. He's kind of, around the area where I'm in New Mexico, Colorado, that area. And Corey Miller's a freak. And what Daniel did to him is just, I don't see Daniel losing to anybody at that weight.
Yeah. But Freddie, you saying that thing shocked you, it's kind of shocking me that you're saying that, because most of the people were saying that why is Engin even making that match happen? I think almost all of the entire arm wrestling community was saying that Corey Miller is just going to get destroyed there.
I know how good Corey is. Like, I get that Daniel Prokopchuk was the favorite during that match, but I know how good Corey is, and it's still surprising.
What's your thoughts on it?
I got Prokopchuk winning that one.
Josh.
I want Doug to win so bad. I just don't think he is.
Pradeep.
Yeah, I also think Daniel is going to win this match. I was like 100% confident about that prediction until I heard Doug say that he has never lost a match when he has taken someone's wrist. Now that should mean something. I don't think he has faced the kind of puller he's going to face at East versus West, but if you have never lost in this position, that means something. But still, I think at some point of time, maybe he's going to take a round, but at some point in time, Doug is going to take his wrist and And just like the Corey Miller match, Daniel Prokopchuk is going to just stand like that, jamming his elbow, and he's going to look him into the eyes, and he's going to make him pin himself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that kid, Daniel, is one of the best pound for pound pullers out there. I've been watching his training videos since I went to that East versus West 4, and that was when he beat Corey Miller. And I just remember talking to Corey after, and Corey was just in shock. And he was like, bro, there's nobody in North America touching that dude. That dude is on a whole nother level. And I just started watching all his videos. And I mean, when you watch this guy training, he reminds me of he's like the Engin Terzi of Moldova. He's like the coach over there, goes around just smashing everybody. It doesn't matter about weight classes. He goes up against these super heavies and just flashes them. So yeah, I'm going to go with Daniel on that one. I hope that Doug could shock the world, but I think Daniel's going to have the better of that day.
Yeah, I got to watch Daniel live in Moldova a few years back, and I became a fan from that point on. His intensity, his heart, you know what I mean? It's very impressive. And it's like ever since then, I've kept my eye on him, and I've watched him do nothing but great things. So yeah, the kid's
he's a very smart guy too. Pradeep, is he like a surgeon or something? I heard.
Yeah.
Wow,
orthopedic surgeon.
That's crazy, dude. I thought that he did arm wrestling full time, and just to know that he's also a surgeon, it's pretty crazy. That's some next level shit right there. One of the big matches that I want to talk about is Paul Linn versus Sasho. I think Paul Lynn's really, he's got a mountain to climb that day, man. Sasho is just an absolute beast. I hope Paul surprises people and he gets the win, but I'm gonna have to go with Sasho on this one, guys. Scott,
I think that's going to be a phenomenal match. I like both the guys, but I'm going to go with Paul, dude. Paul's got the fire. Paul's been on a trajectory that's just on a rocket. And I know Sasha's a beast, but everybody's beatable. And I think Paul's hungrier. I think Sasha might come in maybe a little overconfident. But I'm going with Paul. Yeah.
Freddie, what about you?
I will never pick against Paul Linn ever again. The first East versus West that I ever saw him, I go, oh, he's gonna lose. He won. And then he goes up against Babayev. I go, oh, he's gonna lose. He won. And now Sasho, I mean, I'm not gonna pick against the USA. Not when Paul Linn, Captain America, is there. I mean, that dude just finds the win any way possible. It's just he can't lose, right? So I'm pulling for Paul Linn all the way, man. I hope he wins. Shock the world.
I think Sasha is going to win. I think he's just too technically skilled, too strong in that deep, tight hook. He's very impressive. So that's my pick.
Josh, on you.
I'm gonna have faith in what Todd Hutchins said recently. He said, because I guess he recently trained up with Paul, and he said he's something special right now. And Todd beat Sasho, so he has experience in that factor. And he said what he felt from Paul was something special, and he said Paul's gonna crush him. So, gotta go with Paul.
Yeah, I also saw that Paul Linn was commenting somewhere on a podcast that none of the elite arm wrestlers have predicted him to win. And I sent him that clip where before they trained together, Todd Hutchings was saying that Paul Linn is going to win easy, like he has everything that is needed to win this match easy. But you have to keep in mind that Todd Hutchings also said that RVJ is also going to beat Sasho Andreev, and we also saw how that turned out. And once again, both of them guys Todd has faced and Todd had beaten at that time, both RVJ and Sasho. So if you have, even if you have competed against a couple of guys, even if you have beaten both of them, it doesn't really mean that you are still going to be accurate on your prediction. Sometimes you can still mess it up. I think size difference is one thing that is kind of difficult to ignore in this match. Yesterday, Engin uploaded a video for you guys. It may be today, it was about 12 hours ago, 10 hours ago it was uploaded, and Paul is still weighing over 100 kilos, and the match is at 95 kilos. So he's going to dial that water weight cut perfectly, and he's going to be 100 kilos once again on the match day. and Sasho has never been over 90 or 91 kilos, never, ever in his career. So there's going to be a good 10 kilos difference, and I think that is what is needed in this match, because beating Sasho at his own weight is kind of difficult. Paul's speed is another good point in this, because Paul is really explosive, and Sasho, we have seen him, he's really dominant on this side, even in the center. But Sasho is not that David Samushia kind of guy who's going to catch you 1 inch from the pad and then bring you back and then beat you. So I think it's going to be a close match. I think Paul has what it takes to beat him, but still, man, if Paul wins this match at 95 kilos while weighing 95, because let's be honest, the weight cap is 95. We cannot really complain about how big the guy gets on match day. So at 95 kilos, if Paul beats him, Paul has already beaten Rustam, then it would mean that Paul is favorite against everybody in this world. And this is one part that I'm having some difficulties to believe. Like,
We
Paul
have to
Linn,
remember that Rustam injured himself in that match too. Well, I mean, unfortunately, I'd like to see that.
yeah, but that match
rematch or-
match also stopped. If that hook match was moving to any side, it was going to Paul's side. That much we saw in that match before the injury. If Paul wins this match, like, you have to put him up as a favorite against anyone in this world. And I just don't think Paul is at that level yet where he's favorite in the whole world to beat everyone at 95 kilos.
So you're going with Sasho?
Sasho,
right
yeah,
now?
Sasho. 3-1 maybe.
Paul Linn is just so rough, man. He tends to injure everybody. He almost injured John Brazil too. So you gotta survive, right? That's like rule number 1 of arm wrestling. Like, you gotta survive the match. So, I mean, Paul Linn looks like a durable dude. He looks like he just goes around just jacking people up. So I don't know. We'll see. Sasho hasn't pulled in a while, I think. Not at that level.
Yeah. No, of course he has pulled. He won WAF and World Championships both left and right about 6 months ago.
Did you guys see the?
Months is I mean, kind of long, kind of short. It just depends. But I mean, I know those guys train like insane. But Paul Linn has had experience in the East versus West platform. It's kind of different when you're under the lights.
Yeah, but you also have to remember he lives in Bulgaria, so he's about a fucking 2-hour flight. Paul Linn is about what was the flight? 20 hours, 25 hours or something?
Home field,
A huge
Right.
difference there. It's like home court. Bulgaria is like right next to Turkey.
And I think if Paul gets any little bit of hand control, it could go his way. Definitely. That's going to be the key factor, is being able to get some hand control. The Sasha's just so strong. But if who are we talking about?
Paul Linn.
Oh, yeah, Paul can get any little bit of his hand compromised. I think Paul's smart, dude. Paul's super smart and obviously super strong, stronger than he's ever been, I think, right now. So, and his hand's phenomenal. So I think Paul's got a really good shot. That's why I'm going to go with Paul, USA.
Scott, I want to ask you one question. Like, by hand control, you mean cupping or pronation? I heard you said he can get his hand compromised. So maybe you're talking about
It could be a
pronation.
lot of things. Yeah, like for instance, let's just say Devin and Michael Todd, right? Devin was able to keep Michael Todd from going into a king's position by driving his palm up through the hand and getting the leverage, but also complete control of the back of Michael's hand. So he couldn't at all come outside of his hand, right? Which I think Paul can do that. If they go into a hook and Paul drives to his side up through his palm, bottom part of his palm, through Sasha's hand, and gets in a good position in a hook, it could go Paul's way, that way in hand position. Otherwise, yeah, outside, anything he can get manipulating outside to get Sasha's hand just a little compromised to take some of his power from him than outside. And Paul's got the ability to do both, my opinion.
Did you
Getting
guys?
into a deep hook, I don't think that's not going to be beneficial for Paul.
But
Did you
top roll
guys-
is also, I don't think top roll is also an option. Like, literally nobody in this world top rolls Sasho.
Nobody
one.
go outside, yeah. But again, it's you drive forward and then go outside. There's ways of trying to unlock that. You know what I mean? That's somebody that strong, but it's going to take precise, timing and power to be able to get through somebody's hand and get them compromised, especially that dude. I agree, 100%.
Yo, did you guys see the picture of Zurab that Engin posted up? You guys get to see what he's looking like these days?
No.
Oh my God,
I'm-
bro. You gotta get over by
He's bigger
Engin's,
than he's ever been.
yeah, bro.
That is actually my favorite match. I know I jumped the gun a little bit, but RVJ's comeback, baby. I'm so excited for that. That's my favorite match of East versus West.
So who do you have winning that, Freddie?
Oh man. I got to pick RVJ. I just out of my heart, you know what I mean? But realistically on paper, I think Zurab should really win. I think he's the heavy favorite. But RVJ is a freak, a complete freak. So I'm not surprised if RVJ can pull out the win. I'm pushing for RVJ all the way, man. USA.
Scott, what's your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. That one I don't know. All I can say is like, aside of RVJ practicing, I haven't seen him in action in a while. So that's a factor sometimes, you know what I mean? You get on the table, like Freddie said, the lights come on, and sometimes you hear everybody, and then sometimes you don't. And that's when you're in that funnel vision. That's where he needs to be. And if he's not there, then, you know, who knows? I don't know who to call on it though.
Yeah, brightest lights in arm wrestling right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I'm going to go with RVJ. I just know how hard he's been training and how bad he wants to make this comeback. And also, you know, I know Zurab is definitely the favorite, but I'm going to go with RVJ on this one. Tom, what are you thinking on this?
I think Zurab. After his performance in the AMC, he looked super impressive, and also his last super match against Pork Chop, he just looks very impressive. I think if he gets in a good hook position, he'll be able to win. So, yeah.
Josh.
I mean, Zurab's the heavy favorite. He has way more momentum. I have been choosing way too many Eastern guys, so I'm choosing RVJ.
Pradeep.
Yeah. I think Zurab should win this match easy. I'm also going to go with Zurab because yes, you mentioned that Rob has been training seriously, but sometimes we'll have to look at recent experience as well. Rob has competed in like 1 or 2 super matches in last 4 or 5 years, and Zurab, he lives in Istanbul. Like there are memes going on, like how many times Engin has offered Zurab a match every single event. I would say Rob's style is good to beat Zurab because Zurab's hand can be compromised. Unlike Sasho, where he was trying to top roll somebody who cannot get top rolled, that's why he got stuck in a hook and got beat 6-0. In this match, he has the style to beat Zurab. Zurab's hand, we have seen it can get compromised. But is he going to be able to do that? I'm not sure. Even if he does that, Zurab can go sideways, and I think he has a good enough endurance. And we need to, Tom mentioned AMC, we need to get back to that we need to discuss that because there were some killers out there. Artem Tenov was there, Sergey Bogoslov was there, and a few other top world level guys in the 95 kilos. And none of them were able to pin Zurab. Even if his hand got completely compromised in a King's move, he was struggling for like a minute and a half. Even after that, he still won that AMC tournament. So the 95 kg killers in Russia, they were not able to beat Zurab, none of them. If Rob does that coming in at 95 kilos, same weight, I just cannot see that happening.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have his hand full that day to pull this one off. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I got faith in him. The next match that I want to talk about is Adam Wawrzynski, and he's going against Bako. What do we think on that match, guys? I don't really know much about him other than that he's related to Levon. So what's your guys' thoughts on this match?
Kind of a toss-up, in my opinion. We haven't seen much footage on Bacho. He's obviously younger, apparently the cousin of Levon. I don't know how accurate that is, but we haven't seen too much on him, so it's kind of a toss-up.
I think Adam's going to crush him. I think he's dropping quality an opponent from who he faced in his last East versus West event. And I think it's going to be a 3-0.
Deeb.
Guys, people in the comments are saying that no patriotism, please. All of you guys are from USA. You're predicting that, but I've seen many predictions where you have predicted the European guys to win. Bacho versus Adam, like just like everyone, I'll also have to go with Adam. First of all, one thing I've seen this with all Georgians, they maybe every country does that, but with Georgia, it's more evident. They kind of overinflate the hype, the abilities of their countrymen when it comes to the arm wrestling table. Like they're saying Irakli is going to destroy Tordzilla and every single match, and this is something that we have not seen before. We have seen one very elite level performance, and maybe that is not that much elite either. Where Bacho, I think last year he beat David Samushia on the left arm, but Engin keeps on saying like David Samushia's left arm is like half of what his right is, so that even that doesn't really count. I think experience wise, I don't know how much super match experience he has, and Adam says that he's walking around at like 95 kilos, so weight cap is also it's not like he's a 90 kg guy and he's being forced to compete in 95. So Adam also walks around that weight. Endurance is not a problem for Adam. He can adjust. I think I'll have to go with Adam.
If Basho didn't have his last name, would we care about him right now?
No.
That name carries you a long way.
Hey guys, is Bacho only 18 years old? I just seen that comment in the chat. Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah,
17,
super
18,
young.
something like that.
Wow, that's something, man. If he beats him at 18 years old, this guy's got a trajectory.
There's
That's
no way.
another reason. That's another reason why people are predicting Adam, just because he's so young. Even though Engin keeps on saying that when he was like 14 years old, he was still on the practice table after pulls. He was beating the senior guys from WAF, like serious dudes, while being like 14, 15 years old.
Wow. We got a $5 super chat from Greg Brown TV. Pradeep, you are the man. I watch all your videos. Thank you for everything you do. Mountain respect. Tom out. Freddie, move on to the next victim. Thank you, Greg, for your super chat.
Thanks, Greg.
I still got faith in this match, guys. I still see this happening between Freddie and Tom. So let's see if it could work itself out.
Hey, when you said something about $500, Tom's eyes opened up a little bit, so we might see a match happening soon.
Yeah, let
We'll
Tom
see,
sleep
we'll
on it
see.
overnight. Like, maybe we'll get a video tomorrow.
We might up
Tom
it to
pulls
$1,000 somehow. We'll get it going.
Yeah.
Think about it long and hard, Tom. Do what you got to do to get yourself mentally prepared to face a real arm wrestler. Let's go.
All right, give me a couple of years. I'll be there.
Oh,
I'm not even close to
how
your
many
level.
years does this guy need?
Not
to
even
get ready?
close to your level, dude. Give me a
The
couple
whole small
decades, man. You're way more accomplished, man. Not even
All right,
close.
guys, I want to finish this up real quick. We got a couple more matches left, and then we're going to call it a night. And the next match I want to talk about is the other left-hand match, Vitali versus Tobias. I'm going to go with Vitali on this one. Want to hear from you, Tom. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Vitali's a favorite for sure, but Tobias, I think he cracked, was it Morozov's wrist in one of those rounds, which was pretty impressive on the left. So it could be a close match, but I would say Vitali is the favorite.
Josh,
I think Vitali's going to win 3-0.
Pradeep,
Vitali, yeah, I would also go with him.
Scott.
Same.
Say it again.
Vitali.
Vitali.
Same. Vitali.
Freddie.
I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to say the Sweden kid. That kid's an animal.
Oh yeah! Wow. Okay. Yeah, he
Who is
definitely.
He's Swedish, right?
Yeah.
Tobias Sprong from
Yes.
Sweden.
Yeah, he's from Sweden, and I know he hurt himself last year, and I know since then he's been sizing up. And I think he's put on some significant weight to get ready for this match. Pradeep, do you know anything about like how much weight he's put on?
132 kilos. So both are exactly at the same weight. Tobias is about 6'4". Vitali is like 6'8". But they are both about the same weight, 132 kilos. So what's that? About 290, 295 pounds. So somewhere around that range. And I'm going with a surprise prediction in this one. I think Vitali at some point of time may have to try to hook him. Vitali is like top roll, all top roll. But Tobias, he doesn't really get top rolled. Like Morozov is number one in the world. And it took him one round to realize that lane is not available, the top roll lane. He tried to top roll, like his wrist got crushed, and then he had to bail out. And even later on, he tried to slip, and he just clamped onto his fingers with that 150 kg crushing grip strength, and then he pinned him. So top rolling is not really an option. But to see how easy Morozov was able to force the hook on him, that was really easy. I'm not saying Vitali is Morozov, because Vitali is not a hook arm wrestler, but I can see Vitali, after failing once, he may be tempted to try that hook lane against Toby, something that we have never seen from Vitaly. But I think I can say that for sure, that if he's able to get in a hook, Vitaly will for sure be able to beat Tobias there.
And Pradeep, I want to say this before I forget. That was a great video you made with all the elites and making their predictions for East versus West. I checked that out the other day, man. If you guys haven't already, get over to Arm Wrestling News. Definitely give it a look. Really good video you put together on that one.
Yeah, thanks. It took like almost 8-9 hours to make that video.
You could see the quality, bro. You stepped it up on that one. Definitely a fan of it. Next
Thanks.
match, Rivas versus Dave Chaffee. What's your thoughts? I'm gonna go with Dave on this one.
Dave has me nervous, and I'm gonna tell you why. He talked about his neck issues he's been having with Ingen. And if this comes down to nutrition, man, so much force. Rivas is a strong dude, and it's Dave's neck going to hinder him. I think Dave wins the first 2 rounds. That's usual Dave, but if his neck endurance can he train properly for endurance with his hurt neck? Because he said it affected his training big time for this match, and that's scary to think about. How much did his neck really affect his training? And I think Rivas has something to prove. So does Dave, because they're both coming off losses. I think Dave wins the first 2, and it's 50-50 after that. Either Dave's neck and his endurance are going to kill him, or Rivas is just going to take over.
Yeah, but we're gonna make you lock in right now, bro. You got to pick one. So
I'm gonna have faith in Dave. I'm just worried about his neck, but I'm gonna go with Dave.
Who was Rivas's last match? Wasn't it Michael Todd, or was there a different one after that?
Derek Smith, I think.
Derek Smith.
No, he lost.
No, that was even before Michael Todd.
Morzov. Morzov crushed Rivas.
Morzov.
Okay, that's after he beat Michael Todd.
Yeah, Morzov crushed him.
Right-handed? Morzov beat him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got 1 win though. Like it was 3-1, not 3-0.
Okay.
I'm going to go Rivas to win against Chaffee because those Georgians are super technical. I think the hand control, like Scott was saying, I don't think Dave is maybe the most technical. He might potentially lose his wrist trying to go to the side, and Rivas, super long arm, might be able to keep hand control.
Pradeep.
And I'm trying to think of ways where Rivas can win, but it's difficult to predict against Chaffee. Chaffee has been beaten by Gennady. Gennady forced the hook, cannot really go the outside route against him. He was beat by Morozov. Morozov also hooked him. Like, just if you're just a top roller, unless you're someone like Hermes Gasparini, like that lane is not available against. And even Hermes was like, he had to patiently hold him here near the pad, and then he was able to bring him over. But I've seen Rivas go neck and neck with Artem Morozov in a hook in that first round. That was like Artem Morozov's eyes were about to pop out. He gave him like that difficult of a match in a hook. But he was forced in a hook. I'm not sure if he can himself force the hook on someone else. He got forced in a hook, then he gave a really good battle. If he's somehow able to get Dave Chaffee in a hook, once again, a really, really weird prediction. Rivas all top roll. But I think he needs to force the hook in this match to win.
So you're going to go with Dave then?
For now, yeah, Dave.
Scott.
Dave. I think Dave's too strong. I think Dave 3-0.
Freddie.
All right, I've been picking USA all day, but I think I'm going to have to go with Rivas on this one because he really surprised me against Michael Todd, man. And a lot of people like to pick on Michael Todd because he comes up short to these guys who are just complete monsters. And I think Monster Michael Todd showed up in spectacular form against Rivas, and it's just surprised me how technical Rivas was in that match. You know, he was able to pull off that press on him. He figured a couple things out, and I think Rivas is going to be able to figure out Dave Chaffee. So a lot of people can kind of figure out Dave Chaffee unless Dave Chaffee can actually use, you know, like his heart that he used against Vitaly. Maybe, you know, it's going to be like a complete dogfight. Maybe it might come down to the last round, but I'm going to have to pick the Rivas dude. Yeah, he just looks insane.
Hey, we got Brandon Elsessor versus David Samushia. I'm going to go with I want Brandon to win, but I just don't think that he's going to be able to pull this one off with losing that much weight and all that. I think David's going to be going to be victory that day, but I hope I'm wrong on that. I really would love to see Brandon get this opportunity and win.
I don't see David losing for a long, long time.
Yeah, after how he beat Craig Tullier in that last match, he looked super dominant.
I would also go with David Samushia in that match. Early on, Engin was saying that the match is like at 88 kilos, something weird. Is it still the case? Does anybody know? Or is it like Brandon Alcesor is cutting down right to 85 kilos? Even if he's not cutting, like people are talking about him, like David Samushia not being beatable by anyone in the world at 85 kilos. So even if the weight cap is like 3 kilos higher, how is Brendan Alcesor going to beat him? Like, I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think he's even traveled outside of US to compete. Or maybe he has some time in the past. But yeah, if a guy is not beatable at 85 kilos, he's still unbeatable, at least against Brendan Alcesor at 88 kilos. That's why I'm going with with David Samushia in that match.
Pradeep, what is 85 kilograms pound wise?
I think 192, 193. Let me check.
I think it's like in the 180s actually.
187, yeah, 187.
187. See, that's the thing. That's a huge cut for Brandon. You know, I think Brandon walks around at like 200 to 220, right? Like more closer to 220. So I think that's why this is going to be really tough for Brandon. I think losing that much weight, and I mean, you could see it in the pictures, bro. The dude's muscles got muscles. He's so shredded right now. But in arm wrestling, we know being shredded is not always the best thing.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys one thing. Like, whenever I see Brendan Alcesor in front of camera, he's like super, like, kind of nervous looking to me. Like, is he kind of an introvert or like that? Or am I just imagining things? But when Engin was pointing his camera at him, like, he always looks super nervous in front of the camera.
Yeah, no, he definitely is, man. He lets all his action show everything on the table. You know, he's a very great person, bro. I got to hang out with him, became good friends with him. Humble guy, but just like you said, man, I'd say he's kind of a shy guy in front of the camera. Scott, what's your thoughts on that match, brother?
USA all the way.
Hell yeah, bro. Freddie, what's your thoughts?
Honestly, I think it's harder to find a harder working guy than Brandon Alcesor, man. That dude is like the hardest worker in the room. And I mean, look at his weight cut. I mean, that takes a lot of hard work and dedication, man. He might have bit off a little bit more than he can chew with that weight cut. But I mean, the dude's a professional, man. The dude works his ass off, and I really don't see him missing this opportunity. I think he's going to seize the moment, and I think he's going to shock some people, and it's going to be really exciting for Team West, man. And, you know, we're a little bit biased here, but I just really see this Team West like super duper strong and super ready. And Brandon Alcesor is one of those guys that I think is ready. He's ready for the moment.
Well, I hope you're right on that, man. Brandon's got heart, bro. That is the one thing, man. He's a real true warrior. He does not give up. He will try everything in his capabilities to win this match. So good luck, Brandon. I wish you the best on that. And then the other match I want to talk about is Arif Erdem versus Georgi, which I don't know too much about Georgi. So I'm going to let you guys give your predictions on that because I really don't know too much about Georgi.
He's, I think, multiple time 110 kilogram WAF world champion, super skilled guy from Kazakhstan. I initially picked Erdem to win, but I think Zuranov, I think he's bulking, so I think he's gaining weight. I don't think he's at 110 kilograms. I believe he's probably heavier going into this match. So I think he can pull it out. So I'll go with Georgi on that match.
I got Arif winning 3-1.
Say that again.
Erdem's going to win 3-1.
Okay. Pradeep.
Yeah, I'll also go with Arif Erdem 3-0. Like, now we're talking about 110 kg champ, former versus former super heavyweight champion of the world, and I've heard Engin say that it is really difficult to hook Arif, and that's only option that Zaranov will have against him. So I'm going with Arif.
Scott.
I have no clue, honestly. I don't know who we're talking about, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I'll just catch you up real quick. Arif Erdem, he is the 110 kilogram champion right now.
No,
He's
no, no, no,
from
No,
Turkey.
Super
that's
heavyweight.
the other guy.
Super heavyweight. Okay.
2021 super heavyweight champion, and this time 2022 he got silver to the guy who faced Jerry Cadorette, Georgi Swetkov.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Freddie, who's your thoughts on that match?
Damn, that's a hard one to pick, man, because they're both really good, but I'm probably gonna have to go with Artem. Something about that name in arm wrestling, man. If that's your name, you got a good chance at winning.
Unless the guy's name is Pablo, then not as much.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Or John Brzezinski.
Yeah.
now the main event match. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. Devin Larratt versus Gennady, aka Baby Hands. So, what's your thoughts on this match? I'm gonna go with Devin on this one. I hope Devin pulls this off. What's your thoughts, Tom?
I got Devin winning 3-1 or 3-0. Potentially, Gennady gets a pin, losing his wrist maybe in the first match. There'll probably be a lot of fouls, a lot of controversy with the refs and the setups and stuff like that. I think Devin's going to try and we'll see if he has more endurance than Gennady. Gennady has said that he hasn't lost any endurance matches, but I think Devin is the king of endurance. So, yeah, I got Devin 3-0 or 3-1.
I think Devin's going to win 3-1, and if the round he does lose, he's going to lose it with a purpose, and it's going to be Gennady just gassing out and Devin, doing the little things he needs to do to try to blow his hand up and everything. And I think that first round is going to take 20 or 30 minutes just to get the first round off because Devin's going to be doing so much hand fighting and manipulation in the setup. And I think Gennady's going to get so fucking angry with Devin in the setup that it's just going to affect everything.
Yeah, I remember I was editing the highlights video for Engin's East versus West channel, Devin versus Prudnik match. And after cutting out all of the extra parts, like those I think that were not kind of important, still the first round took like 6 minutes of time in a highlights video. Like I cannot cut more stuff out of it. So the highlights video was like 10 minutes long, more than 10 minutes long for that super match. So same thing. I think the only problem why Devin kind of looked shocked and worried after they measured their hands and their elbow to fingertip length was almost the same. Devin was like slightly longer on the left arm because it's Devin's style, that the way he was working against John Brzezinski, the way he was working against Prudnik, like his endurance, he trusts his endurance. The amount of time he's going to spend in the setup, it's going to benefit him and not his opponent. So he keeps on loading up. Sometimes the opponent is smart enough, he just lifts his elbow. Sometimes it doesn't work out and they just get frustrated like John and tell the referee, you do whatever you want to do, just start us, man. So Devin like keeps on pulling, and that pulling up style may not work that great if the opponent has arm length similar to yours. If you're going up against a shorter guy, then that's really good way to pull backwards. That may not work well against Gennady just because of his arm length and the way Devin has been practicing in last 1 year or so. Like he's only arm wrestling in this position, maybe a little bit less than that, only in this position, and that's where exactly he's going to be. Prudnik didn't even have a flop press and he almost took Devin like 2-3 inches to the pad, and Gennady has one of the best presses out there. So there is under no circumstances the match will stay at center. I think it will go towards Devin's losing side, and Gennady can easily, I think at least once he can easily press through Devin's King's move. People are saying that his arm is very long, it's not possible, he's going to rotate outwards, but still we now know Gennady's arm is also long. So I think flop press, easy 1 victory for Gennady, maybe even 2, but I'm still going to go with Devin. 3-2 I'll say. The match is a lot closer than people are saying that it is.
And what did we find out? So is it true that Gennady's got baby hands? Does he have small hands, or no, that we're seeing that his hands are pretty big?
Smaller than Devin for sure. His hand is smaller. Like, but the surprising thing that they put their elbows like that, and the height at their fingertip was almost the same. But Devin's hand is longer. Devin's hand is like 9 and a quarter.
Devin's right hand is like that much, 2 inches bigger than his left because of the pumpkin training. He did a thing where he held them side by side, and his right hand compared to his left hand looks like that.
Yeah. So no, he doesn't have baby hands. Not big hands, I would say. Maybe like if I don't know if you guys are into hand measurements or not, but Devin is like 9 inches and a quarter. His hand is like something a little over 9. So Gennady maybe like 8.5. Definitely not a big hand, but not a small hand either.
Okay. And now, before we call it a night, guys, I just one other topic I just want to touch on real quick is we had Hermes Gasparini. He made a video towards Jerry Cadorette. He's been making a lot of training videos, and in there he said, to Jerry, how come you're not making no videos? Are you scared of him? So what's your guys' thoughts on that? Do we need to see more videos from Jerry Cadorette? Do we think Jerry's scared and just doesn't want to show his training? What do we think's actually going on here?
I don't think he's scared. I think he's probably just focusing on his training. But I think that more promotion, as you were saying earlier, trying to say that, it's better for athletes to kind of put themselves out there and be more vocal about themselves because it's good for promotion at the end of the day. So I can understand both sides.
Josh?
I don't think Jerry's scared. He's also a busy man. I mean, he's got his job and everything. And I don't think Jerry's scared at all, but he's just busy. I think is what's coming down to. But more promotion would be way better for the match.
Pradeep?
I'm going with Hermes Gasparini, 3-0, 3-1. Maybe Jerry can get a surprise pin there, but yeah, Hermes I think he has a perfect style. People keep on saying that Jerry is a nightmare for top rollers. I saw one post on Facebook. Like if Jerry is getting top rolled by Gennady, who isn't even a top roller, if Jerry is like barely winning against a top roller, Georgi Swetkov, like how is he really a nightmare against top rollers if people are able to top roll him?
Because you got to actually feel it, brother. When you get on the table with him, you'd understand. And
but we cannot ignore the scores, man. We cannot ignore the scores. Those guys are top rolling Jerry. They are pinning him. They are taking him to the pad. Like they're climbing over his hand.
I'm just gonna tell you this, Pradeep. Like he's just getting back into things and in the swing of things. But when you listen to these guys like Travis and John Brzezinski and guys that pulled Jerry multiple times, they'll all tell you, bro, and they say it the same exact way. I've heard it in the small talk and all that. So
the names you mentioned, John Brzezinski, and what was the other name?
Travis.
Yeah, Travis has not been able to do that, but John has also held Jerry in this position and he was able to top roll him. He also lost that match, the UL match I was talking about. Jerry beat him, but once again he was also able to top roll him a couple of times.
But he's talking about John getting John got hurt every time he pulled Jerry.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah,
that's a concern against him.
Most of the guys that go against him, they say the same. And the thing that the reason why I was asking this question and everything is we've been I'm the one that stays on top of Jerry and gets him into interviews. And I kind of just laid back because I felt like I wanted East versus West 7 to get the proper spotlight, and just kind of wait. The next day after that, we're going to get Jerry active. You guys are going to see a lot of promotion on this. I'm going to be on top of that. I've been talking to Jerry. He's going to start putting out training videos and, we're going to start releasing a lot more. We just didn't want to steal the spotlight on East versus West 7. We want Devin and Gennady to get the proper main event spotlight. But I promise you guys, as soon as that's done, I will be full-time on top of Jerry. I'll get his channel active again, and I'm going to get him doing training videos, and we're going to do a lot of shit talking back and forth. I'll definitely make sure that's going to happen, guys.
Yeah, Jerry's not scared, man. Nobody believes in themselves more than Jerry Cadorette. So, I mean, that dude's going to come into that match like balls blazing. It's going to be amazing. I think that Gasparini showed a little bit of versatility against Levon, right? And that's what has everybody thinking for sure he's going to win. But Jerry's a freaking tank, man. And don't ever count him out.
And both of them have pulled out of the match once due to injury. At first, it was Jerry who got injured, pulled out of the match. Then Hermes got injured, he pulled out of the match. This match was supposed to happen on May 6th, but it was postponed because Hermes said he couldn't get ready because of the injury, shoulder injury that he suffered against Levon. And one more thing, why I'm saying Hermes will win. Like I said earlier, Jerry has lost to top rollers, but Hermes has never lost to pressers. We can say that Jerry is the best press guy that we have in the world. then probably except for Levan, we can say the same thing about Hermes Gasparini's top roll as well. So Jerry has also not faced such a high caliber top roller like Hermes Gasparini. Maybe Travis back in the day, but Travis didn't. Travis was able to get him up to here. He didn't have the press to finish. If he had what Hermes has, he would have also been able to beat Jerry at that time.
Well, in 2016, Travis did beat him like that.
Yeah.
Scott, I want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on that match?
Jerry, first of all, Jerry's without a doubt the best flop wrist presser, without a doubt. Jerry has finger pressure. There's different flop wrists. There's a dead wrist press, and then there's a press where you're actually holding on. And that's where Jerry's tricep and his pushing ability is so phenomenal. And one of the best matches, like he mentioned that in UAL, that was one of the best matches ever. And Jerry beat John Brzezinski in a war. And Jerry never let up, and he was able to push. Here's the thing, flop wrist press against the top roller. As soon as you get past your shoulder, you're in trouble. The trajectory changes. You're getting opened up on the other side of your shoulder. So when they start pressing down, it's work. It's like the worst position you could be in. And Hermes is obviously his top roll is phenomenal. But Jerry, I think can without a doubt press through his top roll, especially if he gets Hermes past his shoulder. So that to me is the big, the change of being here and here against that flop wrist. You got to maintain shoulder position against the flop wrist, and you'll always stay in good position. You can sit there and hold out forever. But as soon as you get past that center point and on that negative side, you start draining fast. And Jerry's endurance is phenomenal. He's getting older, but yeah, I don't, it could go either way, but I wouldn't count Jerry out by any means.
My prediction is Jerry's going to win on this. And the reason why I think this is I think Hermes is, I think he's underestimating Jerry. I think it's kind of like what Jerry did against Georgi, but Jerry still pulled it out with his heart and all. But I honestly think Hermes is taking this too lightly. I think he just thinks this is a guaranteed win. He doesn't have to max out on this, and I think he's going to get a shocking surprise when he goes against Jerry and feels that flop.
When is this? Is this a setup match already?
Yeah, this is going down in July.
Where?
East versus West 8.
Oh, they got to go way over there again. So that's a factor every time for these guys.
For sure. Yeah. That flight must not be fun.
Oh, it's not.
Now, what do they get, Paul? What are they winning over there? What's the take home from this, like, prize?
Guaranteed prize money.
Yeah, it's guaranteed prize money.
Get $40,000 or $50,000 easy.
Every athlete's getting different money and all. I really don't know the exact numbers and all that.
Did you say 4 to 5 or 40?
The higher end dudes like Jerry, Levon, Devin, all them boys, they're getting a huge chunk of change.
I don't think Jerry's getting that big. I think Hermes and Devin might be like the top of the food chain. But this is me just guessing, guys. I'm not telling you facts right now, but I'm thinking.
My guess would be Hermes gets somewhere around 20 for that match, and Jerry may get somewhere around 10 to 15 for that match. That's what I would guess.
My guess would be 5 to 10 grand at East versus West for those two.
Is this a secret? Like, how come this isn't like, how come we don't know these numbers? That's what I trip out on. Like,
you want to get blocked? Do you want to get blocked from Engen? And
And
Engen, I'm joking right now, bro. I got witnesses here. I'm joking. This is a complete joke.
No,
I'm not being serious.
Engen keeps on mentioning that he doesn't want to make these numbers public because the athletes may not want it. So I don't think Engen has a problem with that. He specifically mentioned one number, like not directly but kind of indirectly, of how much Devin was getting paid. He said that he offered Devin $20,000 to pull Evgeny Prudnik, and he also mentioned that is just a little bit less than half of what Devin got to pull against Levan. So for Levan he got like $44,000, and for Prudnik he got like 20 plus, and for this match Gennady, I think he's going to get at least 30. That would be my estimate, $30,000. So that's what the top guys are getting. So that's why my guess was like Hermes maybe $20,000.
They,
Jerry
they
10,
have
10
to.
15.
But
They have to.
things have changed from the beginning, because at the beginning, guys, I was hearing, like 1,500 to like 2,500,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Oh, it goes up every single event.
Engin
The money that
has
gets
doubled.
put
Like
into it.
every single athlete that has pulled in like East versus West 2 or 3, Engin has more than doubled their price.
That's great. That's good money, man. That's really good. I'm
Yeah, no,
glad to hear
it's great that we're finally getting where the athletes are getting paid, and that means the promotions are making money as well. And that's what we need for a sport to grow. So great thing to see.
Yeah. You
I
ask Todzilla. Todzilla will tell you exactly how much he's making, because he's always transparent about the money he wants, about the money he gets. Like he's always clear on that. $7,000, something like that. He'll tell
But
you.
the thing that I love about Todzilla is you could call him the weekend before. If he's off that next weekend, he's pulling a super match for you, bro. And that's what I love about Todzilla. It doesn't matter who it is. You just ask him, you want a match? He doesn't care who it's at. Yep, he's a professional arm wrestler, and that's a great thing.
Him and Brzezinski have a big match in August.
Oh yeah, John Brzezinski and Todzilla gonna go at it.
That's gonna be a good match.
That's going down in Canada. I can't wait for that one, guys. That's gonna be an exciting one. But guys, let's call it a night. We've been on for quite a bit tonight. Got to save
Paul,
some topics.
there was a couple of matches you didn't mention as far as like the Florida against Cali was Jonathan Vasquez against Cobb. Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, Nevada dude. Jonathan Vasquez is pretty good. I would pick Vasquez just because I don't know Cobb.
Okay.
And then
Where's Cobb out of?
Florida.
Oh, he's a Florida guy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Duh, I should have known that. And then what other matches do we have going on?
Caleb's got a match with Hutchison.
Okay, I don't know Hutchinson. I know Caleb.
Yeah, he's from Hutchison's from Florida. Yeah, I don't know him either. I guess he's a lightweight. Pretty good. So yeah, I think Cali's gonna come home with a victory.
And we got Dallas Langston going against John Theron, right?
Yeah, that's the Canadian guy, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
So how does that work? How's he Florida? I guess just mix them in a little bit again. Because
Chance
Nevada.
Shaw still injured?
I think so. I know he's been running the Florida Arm Wrestling League. I know he's been concentrating on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's
I know
a
he was
question
injured
mark.
for a
He
while
might-
too.
Supposedly he might show up at this event. So there's a slight possibility. Him and Derek Smith might go at it.
Ooh, that could be a good one.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know, Scott. I think you're going to get your ass kicked from Florida. I'm just saying because I'm in Florida right now.
Florida's just trying. They're still trying to get on the map. They're lucky they got Sarah.
That is great. Florida's doing great.
They got Carl Stanley. They got Daniel Worley. All beasts.
Andre Shark.
Joel Nunez.
Sharks coming out.
Artem. Brandon.
Bad dudes.
Yeah.
They've
leveled up. They've leveled up quite a bit, without a
What
doubt.
about does Brad Grundy he's Florida now, right?
Monster.
He was, yeah. That dude's
I think he is Florida now, man. Yeah, he's the man here in Florida. We got a super chat, Bionic Dan Plexman, $2.79. Thanks, Paul. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, in Florida, I love what Florida's doing, man. They got some great events every month. They're throwing some. That Florida Arm Wrestling League, it's kind of like the Texas Arm Wrestling League. A lot of action, and all doing great things. Florida, Texas, Cali, definitely loving all the action they got going on. Great things.
Yeah, all we need now is to just all join one big league and pay into it, and then we could have payouts for all these leagues. You know what I mean? Somehow we have to generate money, and my personal opinion, as you know, is to join a membership that we all belong to, and we use that money to fund events that are certified referees, that are legit events, and everybody in the United States can be a part of it. And we, like I said, if we do it all together, it's less than a meal a week. You know what I mean? You're talking $20 a month, and we would accumulate a lot of money really fast. And if we become a big unit, we'll be seen as a big unit. Right now, we're in teeny pieces because everybody and their brother is trying to throw a tournament or backyard super matches that aren't even super matches. And it's not getting the sport anywhere. You know, it's just growing this way in backyards, which is good. But we got to have a higher level. We got to have a platform. And if we don't join and unify, we're never going to get there, man. I've been in the sport forever. I've watched it go and just nonstop. And if we just join forces, let's just do it and make it happen and watch what happens. The trickle effect for everybody, the whole world is gonna benefit. As me as an arm wrestler, as I get older, I'm gonna stop arm wrestling eventually. But if I can coach guys, if I can have a team, or if I work for a team, let's say there's at some point we actually have professional teams, which we know we got so many teams right now. It's awesome. But now if we could compete against each other in a league that compensates us, we could have professional teams competing, and guys like me could go out and scout and look for arm wrestlers for the team I work for. Well, it's the LA whatever, you know what I mean? And Dallas has their team, and everybody's got a real team that can compete. Corporations would love to own a professional team.
I like to see the WAL come back and do like the regional tournaments with good payouts, something like that. I like the Locked and Loaded series too. That's with the regional tournaments. I like that.
As long as all go to straps, we'll be okay, Scott.
Yeah, they all go to straps.
All slips go to straps.
All slips go to straps. How about if we were able to somehow we had $1 million winning prize for the winning team? How many teams you think in the whole world would try to compete for $1 million prize? Like American Ninja, right? Like American Ninja style. Everybody's trying to, like you just said, they're gonna go through circuits to qualify to get to that finale final of the two teams that are the best in the world. Pakistan against California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting for Marvin. Get Marvin.
That's
back
exactly
in.
what is, guys. That's exactly what is happening in India. What is going to happen in, I think, July 28th, the Pro Punjab League starts. There are 6 teams, 30 players each. There are 10 different weight categories, 3 players from each weight category, and that's exactly what is going to happen. For about 17 days, every single team is going to arm wrestle the other team a couple of times, and whoever wins more rounds, it is not even about the matches, the total number of rounds. Like if somebody won 3-2, the loser also gets 2 points for his team. So that way, 17 days of non-stop arm wrestling, and the biggest sports channel on TV, like what's the biggest like TV sports channel over there in USA?
ESPN.
ESPN. So India, we have Sony Sports Network is the ESPN of India, and it will be live on TV, prime time, 7 to 9 p.m. for 17 days in India every single day. And hopefully I'll be doing Hindi commentary over there.
I was doing some business with an Indian partner because I'm in the jewelry business, and I was telling him about my arm wrestling, and he was telling me about how big the scene is over there in cricket and how it's like the most watched sport because of that. So, I mean, yeah, he gets me good deals on jewelry too, guys. If you guys want jewelry, hey, I might have to jet, guys, because my phone is dying. The battery's about to die, so I'm gonna have to leave, guys. One last thing, Tom Stubblebine, don't act like it's me who wants the super match. You called me out. You talk shit. I'm just responding to you.
I don't care,
I'm not
bro.
Get away with that shit talk.
You're very heated, bro. I really don't care. I'm not obligated to take any match if I don't feel like it. I can just hang out, and you could just keep yelling at me. And
don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm not gonna let you get away with that shit talk, boy.
Blah blah.
Thank you, Freddie, for coming on tonight, brother. And hopefully we can make this super match actually happen. Thank you for coming on, Freddie.
No, of course. No, thank you for having me on, Paul. It was an honor, man. Pradeep, Grip and Rip, Tom, Scott, Wynn. Pleasure talking to you guys. You guys have a great Wednesday night. And Tom, stop ducking me, son.
You're going to get smoked, dude. Easy work.
No way.
Easy work. Easy work, dude.
We got another super chat in, guys. Paul Italia Cigar. I love the name. $2. Why hasn't Vrez been to East versus West? That's a good question. We need to get Vrez out there. And Paul Italia Cigar, who are you, bro? I love that name, man. That was original.
Where's Pradeep's tongue and palate sound in the chat? Where you at?
Yo, so what's up with Vrez, man? We can't get Vrez in East versus West. I would have thought he'd be up in that.
There's, from what I understand, there's like bad blood, not bad blood per se. And I don't even know, like I'm speaking from hearsay. Edgin, dude. I mean, the dude's he is what he is. I mean, he's his greatest fan. Him and I butted heads over some really stupid shit. He unfriended me. He called me. He told me basically to F off. I tried to apologize in a way so that I could just open the airwaves with him again. And he just didn't even respond. So I'll smash Edgin. So just let him know. I love him. No hard feelings. I didn't mean any harsh or any ill will, like nothing at all. It was all in good nature. And again, I apologize if somehow I disrespected him. It wasn't meant to disrespect him. So.
Well, thank you, Scott, for coming on tonight, brother. It's always a pleasure to have you on. You're always welcome. And guys, if you don't know him, check him out. Scott, you still got the YouTube channel going on?
Yeah, I still got Make the Moves and the Best Damn Arm Wrestling Sports Show. So yeah, check it out. It's not really active as far as any new content, but we hope to get some stuff going again eventually.
Make sure to get over to his page. And West Coast Arm Wrestling, my boy Israel Chavez is in the chat. He says, Freddie Sanchez, Arm Wrestling, let it be known if you come to Cali. I know my boy Israel was very interested when he seen Freddie putting out that call out to Tom. I think Israel wants a piece of Freddie. So, it's out there, Freddie. Israel's hungry. But, Israel's a big boy, man. That's 290 pounds of dream power. All right, guys. Well, it's late one. Thank you guys all coming on. We'll be on next week again. So make sure to tune in next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys all. Great show. Have a